Chapter 1084 Advancement in Strength, please subscribe. _3 Even if it were achievable, as long as the opponent had other means of self-preservation, they could annihilate their flesh and soul with a single thought and then revive through contingency methods. No cultivator would ever want their physical body to fall into the hands of others for research. While Lin Yuan was absorbing the numerous inheritances left behind by the Tuolong Great Saint, he also began to sort through the treasure trove of resources within the inheritance space. With a thought, the various halls within the inheritance space released one rare treasure after another, each exuding a distinct aura. A 10-meter-wide piece of violet crystal appeared, its interior visibly flowing with purple liquid. The violet jade nest? Lin Yuan felt a surge of joy. This piece of violet jade nest was a treasure of the Chaos Realm tier, and even a fragment of this size held a value of no less than 1,000,000 Chaos Realm stones. To put it into perspective, the fragmented world made of star tiers that Lin Yuan had purchased, spanning light years in size, was only worth over 1,000,000 Chaos Realm stones in total. Yet the violet jade nest, merely 10 meters in size, commanded a similar price. Lin Yuan's gaze shifted toward the other treasures presented. There were several yellow orbs, gently colliding with one another and emanating a calming aura that soothed the mind. There was also a 9-colored herb, which had grown 9 distinct leaves of varying hues. All these treasures combined, if converted to chaos stones, would likely be worth around 38 million chaos stones. Lin Yuan was quite satisfied. The inheritance space created by the Tuolong Great Saint was meant to cultivate successors. But nurturing successors required more than mere guidance. It demanded extensive resources. Close to 2 million chaos stones worth of staggering resources was more than sufficient to support an ordinary 11th tier being through their breakthrough into the chaos realm without lacking anything. Directly consuming these resources might be wasteful. It's better to convert them into chaos stones and exchange them for items more suitable for me. Lin Yuan thought to himself. For instance, the rare 9-colored herb had the effect of stabilizing the physical body and the internal cosmos. For those who had just entered the supreme tier, whose bodies and internal cosmos were rapidly evolving, this herb was immensely beneficial. But to consume it directly? Its value would drop significantly, an utter waste of its potential. Lin Yuan was still some distance away from breaking through to the supreme tier. Moreover, given his profound foundation, he wouldn't need external aids like this to stabilize himself upon stepping into the chaos realm. Thus, trading it for resources more suited to him was the optimal choice. The ancient Ming Chaos Continent. Galaxy. Wuxia Dominator smiled at Lin Yuan. Due to the instructions of his master, the ancient Ming Venerable, Wuxia Dominator held Lin Yuan in high regard. No matter how busy he was, as long as Lin Yuan sought him out, he would make the time to meet him. Wuxia. Lin Yuan savored the fine wine before him. This time, I've come to sell some of the rare treasures I possess. Sell rare treasures? Wuxia Dominator's face lit up with a smile. Anything Galaxy takes out, I, Wuxia, will gladly purchase. Lin Yuan had sold some treasures and weapons to him in the past, and their transactions had always been pleasant. Wuxia Dominator upheld a principle. He would rather earn less, or even nothing, if it meant satisfying Lin Yuan. In truth, with the treasures and weapons Lin Yuan had sold previously, Wuxia Dominator had made a modest profit overall. Take a look first. Lin Yuan flipped his hand, bringing out some of the resources from the inheritance space. The 10-meter violet jade nest, the 9-colored herb. So the novel, If Ire. At website on Google to access chapters of novels early and in the highest quality. Wuxia Dominator's expression instantly shifted. The treasures Lin Yuan brought out were all of Chaos Realm tier, and their value within the Chaos Realm tier was anything but low. So many rare treasures, Wuxia couldn't help but feel a chill. Could it be that Lin Yuan had plundered the lair of a Chaos Venerable? What's wrong? Is there an issue? Lin Yuan stared at Wuxia Dominator. No issue at all. Wuxia Dominator quickly shook his head. It's just that these treasures are so precious, you'll need to consult my master. Dealing with treasures of the Chaos Venerable level was beyond his authority and required the approval of the ancient Ming Venerable. All right, go ahead. Lin Yuan nodded in understanding. You'll have my answer shortly. Wuxia Dominator immediately split off a trace of his consciousness to form an avatar and personally headed to the secluded cultivation space of the ancient Ming Venerable. Master, Galaxy wishes to sell some rare treasures. Wuxia Dominator approached the ancient Ming Venerable and quickly explained the situation. These. The ancient Ming Venerable was equally astonished. Some of the treasures Lin Yuan had brought out were items that even Chaos Venerables rarely encountered. Master, should we take them? Wuxia Dominator immediately asked. Take them, of course, take them. The ancient Ming Venerable's eyes widened. So many rare treasures, many of them are seldom seen. Even if we couldn't sell them, I would still gladly accept them myself. With a solemn expression, the ancient Ming Venerable quickly assigned prices to each item. Compared to their market value, the ancient Ming Venerable chose the highest possible prices. First, these treasures were indeed rare. Second, the prophetic visions concerning Lin Yuan by the Chaos Dragon Beast were terrifying. The ancient Ming Venerable was determined to curry favor, let alone haggle over prices. After Wuxia Dominator left, the ancient Ming Venerable's expression quickly regained its composure. Ancient Ming. A black-robed youth appeared beside him. This galaxy, it seems, is a reincarnated great saint. The black-robed youth spoke in a low voice, having overheard the entire conversation between the ancient Ming Venerable and Wuxia Dominator. Indeed. The ancient Ming Venerable nodded. Based on the black-robed youth's foresight, offending Lin Yuan would lead to certain death. This could only mean that Lin Yuan would almost certainly ascend to the rank of great saint in the future. Otherwise, how could such a fate be predicted? But forget the path-splitting realm. How could even Chaos Venerables be certain of ascending to the status of a great saint? Only a reincarnated great saint could assert with certainty that they would reclaim their former glory. Thus, the ancient Ming Venerable and the black-robed youth became increasingly convinced that Lin Yuan was a reincarnated great saint. Now that they saw Lin Yuan present so many Chaos Realm tier rare treasures, their theory that Lin Yuan was a reincarnated great saint was virtually confirmed. These treasures, rare even by Chaos Realm standards, were almost inexplicable, unless they were preparations made before a great saint's reincarnation. Lin Yuan must have recovered some of his memories from his time at the great saint level and retrieved the contingencies he had prepared at his peak. A great saint. The ancient Ming Venerable and the black-robed youth exchanged glances, their hearts filled with awe and amazement. If you find any errors, ads pop up, ads redirect, broken links, non-standard content, etc., please let us know reports so we can fix it as soon as possible. Chapter 1085 Eons of Time, please subscribe. It was confirmed that Lin Yuan was the reincarnation of a great sage, which made ancient Ming Venerable and the black-robed youth feel increasingly awed. This meant that Lin Yuan's existence spanned incomparably ancient and endless years. His true identity might well be that of an unparalleled sage, known throughout the Chaos Void. Sir the Oval Fire. At website on Google to access chapters of novels early and in the highest quality. Inside the Palace Hall. Wuxia Dominator received a nod from his master and immediately quoted the price. Brother Galaxy, all of these treasures combined, the final price is 40 million Chaos Stones. Wuxia Dominator couldn't help but feel astonished internally. Such an enormous amount of Chaos Stones would make even a Venerable hesitant to part with them. After all, Chaos Venerables incur substantial expenditures as well. Take ancient Ming Venerable, for example, his own consumption, the needs of his companion, the Chaos Dragon Beast, and the expenditures to maintain the myriad formations on ancient Ming's Chaos Continent were all significant. 40 million Chaos Stones. Lin Yuan nodded. This exceeded his earlier estimation by quite a large margin. Lin Yuan hadn't brought out all the treasures from his inheritance's spatial storage, only intending to sell a portion for now. Based on Lin Yuan's judgment, those treasures he sold earlier were worth around 20 to 30 million Chaos Stones. 40 million Chaos Stones? It was evident that ancient Ming Venerable had offered an exorbitant price. Please convey my gratitude to the Venerable. Lin Yuan said. Although he didn't know why ancient Ming Venerable was showing him such goodwill, be it through the star-tier shard world or other gestures, it wasn't a bad thing after all. I intend to purchase another batch of resources. Lin Yuan casually listed his desired cultivation resources. No problem. Once Yu Dominator patted his chest and assured him. Now that the ancient Ming Chaos Continent had become the trading hub for the nearby void, the resources Lin Yuan wanted were not rare and could be acquired easily. Time passed. A decade flew by in the blink of an eye. Star-tier shard world. Lin Yuan sat cross-legged, his physical body emanating a deep and weighty aura that seemed to strain the surrounding space-time, twisting and warping it incessantly. The Xianhuang physique, it's finally cultivated to perfection within the Dominator realm. A smile emerged on Lin Yuan's face. As the guardian technique of the profound Xianhuang lineage, and being a body refinement method, the Xianhuang physique tempered his physical body to near perfection in all aspects. Even secret body refinement techniques of the great sage level like the 9 tribulations to Along body only slightly improved Lin Yuan's physique in minor areas, whereas the Xianhuang physique remained central in its influence. Currently, my body should be approaching the physical level of Chaos Venerables, Lin Yuan thought to himself. The perfection of the Dominator level Xianhuang physique made his body arguably the strongest at the Dominator realm level. Additionally, due to Lin Yuan's already extraordinary foundation of physical strength, especially the terrifyingly stable essence of his internal universe, his body was continuously enhanced, creating a virtuous cycle. At this moment, Lin Yuan's physical strength had reached a point where further improvements seemed almost impossible. Next comes the Chaos Realm version of the Xianhuang physique. Lin Yuan contemplated for a moment before shaking his head. The Chaos Realm Xianhuang physique also demanded an adequately powerful life essence as its basis, a requirement he might only meet after fully entering the Dominator realm. But the resources needed for perfecting Chaos Realm Xianhuang physique, TSK. Lin Yuan shook his head slightly. With his current physical foundation, if he could fully cultivate the Xianhuang physique to perfection at the Chaos Realm, just his physical body alone would likely be enough to dominate the Chaos Great Saints. However, the resources required to refine such a physique were staggering. For now, Lin Yuan couldn't foresee how it could be achieved. He estimated that even the entire wealth of an unparalleled sage would fall far short. Step by step, Lin Yuan reined in his thoughts and stopped dwelling on the issue. And then there's you. His thoughts stirred, and a palm-sized bell-shaped treasure appeared before him. This was none other than the primordial bell meticulously nurtured by Lin Yuan. Over the years, through Lin Yuan's continuous cultivation and vast resource investments, the primordial bell had grown into a Dominator-tier treasure. The primordial bell was deeply attuned to Lin Yuan's spirit. Activating it required minimal effort, yet its power was immense. It rivaled even Chaos Realm treasures in capability. Come to think of it, I haven't used you even once all this time, Lin Yuan shook his head slightly. By his nature, he rarely acted unless he had absolute confidence in the outcome. In his daily life, he avoided dangerous situations entirely, relying on the appearances of his primordial spirit incarnations rather than exposing himself. Thus, the primordial bell remained unused. Still, despite its lack of opportunity to shine, such trump card treasures were non-negotiable in their importance. They might not be employed often, but they were crucial to possess. This was why Lin Yuan had never abandoned the nurture of the primordial bell. Many of the contingency measures and fatal techniques he had prepared over time had yet to be triggered, but he continued refining and adding to them, directly using the source essence of my internal universe for its nurture. Lin Yuan stored the primordial bell within the depths of his internal universe, now vast and boundless, where the chaos tree presided majestically at its center, organizing and governing everything. Home universe. The cosmic cataclysm had now completely concluded, and the once vast universe had condensed into a singular point. The point was unimaginably small yet incomprehensibly immense. The surrounding space-time had compacted entirely, forbidding even unparalleled sages from perceiving its secrets. The destruction and rebirth of the universe were natural evolutions dictated by the fundamental laws of the chaos void origin, completely impervious to external interference. Within the concentrated point, Xianhuang's secret realm, now compressed into a miniature space measuring merely 10 meters across. Lin Yuan's incarnate form sat at its center, carefully observing everything outside the secret realm. Beyond the secret realm lay an expanse of primal chaos, utterly devoid of any influence from the laws and Tao principles. The essence of the cosmic cataclysm was the complete annihilation of all such rules and principles. However, for Lin Yuan, the seemingly dead and lifeless void outside the secret realm was, paradoxically, incredibly wondrous. Through Lin Yuan's perspective, though the external world was chillingly empty, he could faintly discern boundless laws slowly being nurtured into existence. If you find any errors, ads pop up, ads redirect, broken links, non-standard content, etc., please let us know reports so we can fix it as soon as possible. Chapter 1086, Long Time Passing, Subscription Request, _2 From nothing to something, these rules took form, revealing unprecedented perfection and miracles in Lin Yuan's eyes. The birth of life is a miracle, and so is the evolution of the universe. Marvelous, marvelous, marvelous. Lin Yuan was entranced, fully immersed in it. Your insight is extraordinary. Watching the destruction and rebirth of the universe, your understanding of the essence of the great Tao rules is enhanced. Every moment, Lin Yuan's mind burst with countless insights and inspirations. The chaos void origin rules operated, nurturing one universe after another. These universes underwent destruction and rebirth, which were manifestations of the chaos void origin rules. However, such a manifestation is hard to glimpse below the level of a great saint. To set up something like the Xianhuang secret realm within a universe, at least the strength of a chaos great saint is required, and even most chaos great saints cannot achieve it. Now this universe is still in the process of being reborn, and once it fully begins its new life, with countless rules and paths restarting, and life gradually reviving, it should have the greatest impact on me. Lin Yuan thought to himself. By then, having witnessed the entire process from the universe's destruction to rebirth, my comprehension of the rules will surely soar dramatically, possibly reaching the level where I can effortlessly create a universe. Lin Yuan secretly thought. A 12th-layer life form's inner world transforms into an inner universe, but this inner universe is nurtured slowly from weak to strong by a 12th-layer life form. It's still far from effortlessly creating a universe. In Chaos Void, forces of the revered level typically establish their own chaos continents. But forces of the Great Saint level, especially those top-tier forces with formidable great saints, often create a universe specifically. Such a universe is not nurtured by the chaos void, so it lacks the indelible characteristics, yet it has unparalleled advantages in size and in nurturing lives degree compared to a chaos continent. Universes specifically created by exceptional great saints can set rules to a certain extent, such as forming certain special training environments or nurturing specific life forms, and so on. Effortlessly creating a universe, this also reflects reaching the pinnacle of rule comprehension. Lin Yuan thought to himself, if one has not comprehended countless rules, how could they easily create a complete universe? Unfortunately, this universe at present still has some time before it enters the rebirth phase, much longer than the normal time for a universe to transition from great destruction to rebirth. Is it because I took away too much life during the great destruction, leading to insufficient momentum for rebirth, thus needing time to absorb the power of the chaos void? Lin Yuan muttered to himself. In fact, Lin Yuan speculated that there might be more reasons than just this. Also, he absorbed a large amount of world-breaking origin force during the universe's great destruction. Although up to now, Lin Yuan still does not know the essence of the world-breaking origin force, it is definitely a form of extremely advanced power. During the universe's great destruction, such source power dissipates, but it ultimately only dissipates within the universe and eventually merges back into the universe. Yet during this universe's great destruction, it was all absorbed by him. Unfortunately, Only life forms within the universe can access this method of absorbing the world-breaking origin force. Lin Yuan shook his head slightly. In recent years, he occasionally sent avatars to explore the nearby void domain and had discovered universes undergoing destruction, but he couldn't absorb any extra world-breaking origin force. Starlight Tier Fragment World. A period has passed since human civilization migrated here. In a classroom full of high-tech atmosphere, more than a dozen students were attentively listening to the teacher's lecture on stage. In fact, with the current technology of human civilization, education could have been fully conducted in the virtual world long ago, but some schools still retain this way of face-to-face teaching in reality. Compared to the virtual world, reality always feels more authentic. The teacher standing on the podium was a middle-aged woman. She looked at the many students below. These students were all born in the last 10 years or so, born in this fragment world, nurtured by the Starlight Tier, possessing great innate talent and potential, nearly all destined to become evolvers in the future. Sun Ming. S.E. the Novelier. N.T. website on Google to access chapters of novels early and in the highest quality. The middle-aged woman frowned, gazing at a student sitting towards the back. This student seemed slightly dazed, clearly lost in thought. "I'm here, teacher." The student named Sun Ming quickly reacted, hurriedly stood up, and said, "Why don't you tell us what the galaxy calendar is?" The middle-aged woman smiled as she looked at him. "The galaxy calendar?" Sun Ming's spirits lifted. If asked about knowledge from some other area he might not know, but the galaxy calendar? Who wouldn't know he was a devoted fan of the galaxy's greatest hero? 56 years ago, the universe in which we lived faced destruction, and countless citizens of our human civilization would have perished along with the universe if nothing else happened. But the galaxy's greatest hero stood up, single-handedly taking all our human civilization's citizens out and eventually migrating to this new homeland. From that time on, the old calendar of human civilization, the Starry Sea era, ended, and the first year of the galaxy calendar began. The so-called galaxy calendar is named after the galaxy's greatest hero, to commemorate the galaxy's greatest hero's monumental achievements. Sun Ming answered with great enthusiasm. The other students listened with equal excitement. In human civilization, the image of the galaxy's greatest hero has almost reached the level of deification. Very good, very good. The middle-aged woman nodded slightly. Perhaps the new humans born in this new homeland cannot understand it, but she? If you find any errors, ads pop up, ads redirect, broken links, non-standard content, etc., please let us know reports so we can fix it as soon as possible. Chapter 1087, A Long Thousand Years, Request Subscription, _3 The middle-aged woman personally experienced the end of the Starry Sea era. At that time, human civilization officially announced that the universe was about to be destroyed and would adopt a lottery method to select citizens to migrate to a new home. And the probability of being selected? Out of about 1 or 200 citizens, roughly one would be chosen. Back then, the middle-aged woman was selected, but her father and mother, friends, and classmates were not selected. In other words, waiting for the middle-aged woman was the outcome of living alone while her close relatives and friends all perished. In such circumstances, the despair of the middle-aged woman was imaginable. Ultimately, she chose to give up her selected spot, staying behind to walk through the last phase of life with her loved ones and friends. But at this time, the galaxy's strongest announced that all citizens could be brought along to journey together to the new home. This scene of seeing hope amidst despair is still clearly remembered by the middle-aged woman. For human civilization, the galaxy's strongest is no longer just about great achievements. That is a savior saint. Let's talk about Martial Tao then. The middle-aged woman continued to ask. Martial Tao is the path taken by the galaxy's strongest. Sun Ming felt a surge of joy in his heart, for he also knew the answer to this question. In the 40th year of the galaxy calendar, the galaxy's strongest used Martial Tao as the foundation to develop 673 great paths. These paths encompass most of the currently known roads, and all can enter the 12th layer. In the 45th year of the galaxy calendar, Many evolutionary paths that were prevalent in the old calendar gradually became obsolete. Sun Ming's tone was exceptionally excited. Though he has not yet practiced martial Tao, he had long decided that the evolutionary path he would pursue in the future would be martial Tao. The middle-aged woman's listening seemed a bit lost. These newly born new humans couldn't perceive the changes in human civilization after the galaxy calendar. Especially the scene where many evolutionary paths gradually became replaced by martial Tao. Who knows how many powerful evolutionaries of the old calendar were moved by this? Deep within the fragment world of Star Tier, Lin Yuan sat cross-legged, clearly observing how the various branches of martial Tao had spread thoroughly within human civilization, replacing the numerous evolutionary paths of the Starry Sea era. This was an inevitable result. After all, the martial Tao branches opened up by Lin Yuan, whether in terms of potential, difficulty in cultivation, or any other aspect, far surpassed the numerous evolutionary paths of the Starry Sea era. Even the 9 strongest beings of human civilization took the initiative to switch to the branches of martial Tao, let alone the ordinary human citizens. Moreover, regardless of which branch of martial Tao, due to their foundation being martial Tao, cultivators of different branches can communicate and collide with each other. I can feel that even in distant other void domains, martial Tao cultivators have been born. Lin Yuan carefully sensed and nodded slightly. This situation likely arises from the 10,000 Paths Pavilion beginning to propagate the martial Tao branches. The Eye of Myriad Laws reached an agreement with Lin Yuan, and afterward, showed no sign of slacking but immediately instructed each of the Myriad Laws branches to spread the path. The spread rate is very fast. Currently the number practicing has already surpassed the total number of human civilization's martial arts evolutionaries. Lin Yuan contemplated that within the universe, the number of human civilization citizens is substantial, but compared to the chaos void, they are notably insignificant. Now the 10,000 Paths Pavilion is still in the initial propagation stage, and when it starts to spread deeply, the number of lives practicing martial Tao will see a significant surge. Source World. Qingfen City. Lin Yuan sat cross-legged, feeling the essence of the divine body of fierce sun bit by bit. Within the fierce sun ancient country, the divine body of fierce sun is akin to the favored child of heaven and earth, possessing great advantages in all aspects, be it cultivation, comprehension of principles, or even in the exertion of combat strength. I still have to continue condensing the seed of the fierce sun. Lin Yuan had not given up on condensing the seed of the fierce sun, but currently, the difficulty of condensing the seed of the fierce sun has surged. Even for Lin Yuan, it takes several days to condense one. And the efficiency of one per several days is gradually declining. As the number of condensed seeds of the fierce sun continues to rise, it becomes 1 in 10 days, then 1 in several dozen days. Now the situation. Lin Yuan ended his cultivation and glanced outside. Since Lin Yuan's intervention led to the failure of the Purple Dream Domain's plans. The Qingfen domain has been in a standoff with the Purple Dream domain, with no sign of retreat from the other side, and they have even marshaled troops for gather at the border. The armies of this ancient country in the source world all appeared in the form of battle formations. A battle formation composed of 100,000 of the 11th layer can concentrate all the strength of 100,000 11th layer members, enhance it, and the resulting strike is enough to severely wound a path-splitting realm expert. Whoosh! Just then, Lord Qingfen appeared. The actions on the Purple Dream domain are directed by the Spirit Might King. The war is likely inevitable. Short as a few hundred years, long as several thousand years. Lord Qingfen straightforwardly remarked. Recently, not only is the situation on the Purple Dream domain delicate, but dozens of large domains near the Purple Dream domain are also surging with undercurrents. The Spirit Might King? Esya the novel, et website on Google to access chapters of novels early and in the highest quality. Lin Yuan nodded. He has also heard of this newly crowned king, rare for being bestowed king status with royal identity, most crowned kings being heavenly venerate level experts. But it's just war. Our fierce sun ancient country is not afraid. Lord Qingfen looked at Lin Yuan and reminded, Just make sure you don't leave Qingfen City recently. I worry the Spirit Might King might target you. If it weren't for Lin Yuan, the Spirit Might King would find taking Qingfen City and even the Qingfen domain far easier. Thus, Lord Qingfen had this concern. Rest assured, I certainly won't leave. Lin Yuan immediately replied, having sold off the heart of Myriad Formation, Lin Yuan wouldn't lack resources for a long time. Not lacking resources, not lacking inheritance, even if it were to put Lin Yuan outside, he wouldn't go. That is quite good. Lord Qingfen nodded before disappearing. If the war really starts, being in the center of the Qingfen domain will inevitably face the greatest pressure, and Lord Qingfen has been exceptionally busy lately. Watching Lord Qingfen disappear, Lin Yuan pondered for a while and continued to start cultivating again. Whether it's war or peace. Anyway, cultivating and getting stronger is undeniably correct. Time flowed. In the blink of an eye, 1,000 years passed. If you find any errors, ads pop up, ads redirect, broken links, non-standard content, etc., please let us know reports so we can fix it as soon as possible. Chapter 1088, Lin Yuan's Foundation, Seeking Subscription. In the crimson world filled with endless fierce suns, Lin Yuan's incarnation, condensed from a thread of his spirit, cautiously observed the surroundings. At the highest point of the crimson world, a figure stood. This figure possessed millions of forms. Every time Lin Yuan observed it, he experienced different realizations and insights. In this crimson world, Lin Yuan once entered when he condensed the 30,000th seed of the fierce sun. He had been here before. The figure at the highest point is most likely the ancestor of Fierce Sun from the Fierce Sun ancient country, a 13th order time life. Originally, Lin Yuan thought that being able to enter this crimson world was completely by chance, a rare occurrence. However, upon condensing 33,000 seeds of the Fierce Sun, Lin Yuan suddenly discovered that he had vaguely established a certain connection with this crimson world. Through this connection, he could enter again. Realizing this, Lin Yuan began to visit regularly. He couldn't help it. This crimson world seemed to be purely a world of fire. Yet upon enlightenment, he discovered that the fire of this world surprisingly contained thousands upon thousands of cosmic rules, and among them, Lin Yuan found all the rules he had understood. In addition, the figure at the highest point, suspected to be the ancestor of Fierce Sun, gave Lin Yuan immense shock. In the chaos void, even unparalleled great saints are painstakingly seeking the path of 13th order life, trying to forge ahead to 13th order themselves, hoping to gain a minute possibility. But in this source world, he could look so closely at a 13th order time life. If it were those unparalleled great saints in the chaos void, they would likely go mad with envy. Xian Huang, the magic Jade Tower master, and other unparalleled great saints would dream of having Lin Yuan's opportunity. I can enter this world because I have condensed enough seeds of the Fierce Sun. Lin Yuan understood well why he could appear here. It was because of the thin bloodline of the ancestor of Fierce Sun flowing within him, complemented by the seeds of the Fierce Sun. It's a pity that now I need just one more seed to reach 33,333. Lin Yuan looked somewhat helpless. 35 years ago, Lin Yuan had already condensed 33,332 seeds of the Fierce Sun and had been trying to condense the last one ever since. As he neared completion, Lin Yuan became increasingly aware that 33,333 seeds represented an entirely different domain. When the time comes, all the seeds of the Fierce Sun will form a complete cycle within his body. Once this grand cycle forms, it will be a great transformation for him. Take it slow. 8,000 years have merely passed. Lin Yuan gathered his thoughts. The complexity and obscurity of the last seed of the Fierce Sun required even him to carefully comprehend before even attempting to condense it. Though difficult, with Lin Yuan's against heaven's understanding, it should only be a matter of time. If 1,000 years aren't enough, then 2,000 years, 3,000 years, 5,000 years. I can't continue observing. Lin Yuan stayed in the Crimson World for a while and began to feel he couldn't hold on. This world was filled with omnipresent fierce sun fires, and Lin Yuan's spirit could descend with the protection of the seeds of the fierce sun, but this protection had a time limit. Whoosh! The next moment, Lin Yuan's spirit-created incarnation dissipated. In the sky-burning court, Lin Yuan opened his eyes. 8,000 years of secluded cultivation feels like just the blink of an eye to me, Lin Yuan thought. The higher one's level of life, the more blurred the concept of time becomes. To the great lords and heavenly venerates, it's completely normal for millions or billions of years to pass in isolation. 1,000 years? Not even enough for a nap. But in these 1,000 years, my improvements have been considerable. A smile appeared on Lin Yuan's face, the greatest achievement being the chaos rule reaching the second realm. From chaos first realm to second realm, it seemed like merely ascending one level, yet it was the result of Lin Yuan comprehending countless cosmic rules, where quantitative change leads to qualitative transformation. Improvement in chaos rule cannot be directly sensed. It requires the constant understanding and penetration of more and broader cosmic rules. Typically, chaos venerables start with understanding chaos rule first realm, and to reach the second realm, one needs to spend 10 cosmic eras, dozens of cosmic eras gradually comprehending countless rules. Yet Lin Yuan accomplished this in merely a millennium, and still considered that Lin Yuan's life level is only at the path-splitting realm, whereas those venerables possess life levels of the chaos realm. The higher the life level, the easier and simpler it is to comprehend cosmic rules. Standing high, one sees far. However, although the understanding of chaos rule has reached the second realm, using chaos rule as a foundation to evolve the Taiji yin-yang power is still without clues. Lin Yuan pondered. In his initial estimation, to evolve chaos yin-yang Taiji, chaos rule must at least reach the second realm. But the chaos rule of the second realm is merely one of the prerequisite conditions for evolving chaos yin-yang Taiji, not all conditions. Chaos births yin-yang, chaos births Taiji. How exactly does it birth? How does it evolve? Lin Yuan contemplated, this is a path that is uniquely mine. The chaos yin-yang Taiji has no precedence in either the chaos void or this source world. Even if it seems like a similar path, fundamentally, it's different. Search * the Novire. Net website on Google to access chapters of novels early and in the highest quality. For instance, the Chaos Flame path that Lord Qingfen follows is completely different from other great lords' Chaos Flame paths. Lord Qingfen's Chaos Flame is azure, it's incinerating. Even similar Chaos Flame paths will present significant differences. Chaos yin-yang Taiji is even more so. If I couldn't enter that crimson world and observe the ancestor of fierce sun, a 13th order time life, I fear evolving chaos yin-yang Taiji might take 10,000, a million years, and still might not be achievable. If you find any errors, ads pop up, ads redirect, broken links, non-standard content, etc., please let us know reports so we can fix it as soon as possible. Chapter 1089. Lin Yuan's Foundation, Seeking Subscription, _2 Lin Yuan thought to himself. If it were only a matter of evolving Chaos Yin or Chaos Yang, it wouldn't be too difficult for Lin Yuan. However, Lin Yuan is not content with merely evolving one path. Since the second layer, he has used yin-yang Taiji to forge his foundation, and now as he walks the path of chaos evolving into all things, he naturally still uses yin-yang Taiji as the main focus. As for simply chaos yin or chaos yang, even if they are truly evolved for Lin Yuan, it bears no worthwhile gain, as it would limit future potential. Ancestor of fierce sun, Lin Yuan thought, observing the figure of the ancestor of fierce sun in that crimson world. Although it didn't directly help him evolve chaos yin-yang Taiji, it at least pointed him in the right direction. This made his future path much smoother, at least giving him a target to pursue instead of aimlessly cultivating and comprehending. Continue to comprehend more Grand Dao rules, elevate the chaos rule to the third realm, and perhaps the evolution of chaos yin-yang Taiji will become gradual. See Ditch Oval Fire. At website on Google to access chapters of novels early and in the highest quality. Lin Yuan thought, and this was also the realization he frequently gained from observing the ancestor of fierce sun's figure. Theoretically, the Chaos Second Realm should be able to evolve Yin-Yang Taiji, but it is still just a theory, as currently, Lin Yuan does not observe the possibility of such an evolution. If that's the case, then he should continue to elevate his comprehension of Chaos Rule. The comprehension of the Chaos Rule consists of 3 realms, and reaching the 3rd realm is basically the limit of the Chaos Rule. At this level, one can easily evolve various paths. Actually, with my understanding, not perceiving hope for evolving Chaos Yin-Yang Taiji indicates that this path has high potential. Lin Yuan thought. Some powers can be evolved with just the Chaos First Realm, like the most common Chaos Flame, Chaos Gold, and so on. These power paths can be encompassed and covered by the Chaos First Realm. But some powers require the Chaos Second Realm, being several dozen or even hundreds of times more difficult than the former, yet the eventually evolved power paths will also significantly increase in all aspects. From this, it can be inferred that the higher the demand for comprehension of Chaos Rule, the higher the potential of the power path. Chaos Third Realm? Lin Yuan's expression changed subtly. In the Chaos Void, having comprehension of the Chaos Third Realm is something many Chaos Great Saints might not possess because the requirement for the number of Grand Dao rules to be comprehended is overwhelmingly terrifying. But for Lin Yuan, with the Against Heaven's understanding, comprehending many Grand Dao rules is not much different from eating or drinking. Especially in this source world, through the seed of the fierce sun, Lin Yuan's comprehension of rules has greatly increased, allowing him to perceive the countless rule fluctuations more clearly and thereby comprehend thoroughly. This source world has been incredibly helpful to me. Lin Yuan felt a slight sense of gratitude. Without this source world, relying only on cultivating in the Chaos Void, he would likely take many detours. If one source world is like this, then the remaining 32 source worlds. Lin Yuan's heart was stirred. Deep within the Myriad Realms Gate, there are 33 source world coordinates recorded, which means there are 33 source worlds. Forget it. Descending into this source world already split a small part of my mind and will. Exploring another source world would be too burdensome for my true self, causing significant impact. Lin Yuan thought. After reaching the 12th layer, Lin Yuan's life essence was transformed, making further traversal unnecessary to immerse his entire mind and spirit, unlike the more than 10 previous traversals. But it still burdens the mind and will, requiring a small division of mind and will. For the true self in the Chaos Void, simply splitting a small part of the mind and will to explore a source world has no significant impact. But if he further splits a small part of his mind and will to explore a second source world, it's equivalent to only having half of his mind and will left within the true self. The consequence would be all-encompassing, such as reduced strength and decreased speed and efficiency of comprehension, among other things. Exploring a source world isn't as simple as condensing an incarnation. It requires more than a mere sliver of mind and will. Even with the Myriad Realms Gate as a mediator, it still requires enough mind and will to maintain the connection between two worlds separated by infinite spatial-temporal dimensions. Let's explore them one by one. Lin Yuan knew that haste makes waste. After all, the coordinates for the 33 source worlds are there. Once he thoroughly explores this source world, or when the exploration of this source world reaches a certain bottleneck, he can consider retracting this part of his mind and will to explore the subsequent source worlds. After 1,000 years of nurturing, my 7th physical body divine ability is about to be completed. Lin Yuan sensed the deep power from the roots of his bloodline intertwining and converging to form an extremely complex imprint that vaguely resembles the fierce sun in the sky. The amount of time this physical body divine ability has consumed, I wonder what it will be like. Lin Yuan revealed an expression of anticipation. The physical body divine ability awakened on the martial arts evolution road depends on the fundamental power deep within one's bloodline. Lin Yuan's physical body originates from the fierce sun ancient country, with the ancestors' bloodline flowing within, which is of the 13th layer bloodline. The physical body divine ability awakened from this has a high probability of being related to the ancestor of fierce sun, possibly being a talent method it possesses. A talent method belonging to a 13th layer life? Even when it comes to Lin Yuan, due to life level and various reasons, the power and effects exerted are greatly reduced. If you find any errors, ads pop up, ads redirect, broken links, non-standard content, etc., please let us know reports so we can fix it as soon as possible. Chapter 1090, Lin Yuan's Foundation, Seeking Subscription, _3 that also stems from a 13th tier temporal life form. The most crucial part is, as long as it's an awakened physical body divine ability, Lin Yuan can thoroughly comprehend it to be applicable in the chaos void and other worlds. The talent of a 13th tier life form, Lin Yuan couldn't help but feel excited. Through the talent of a 13th tier life form, one can fully discern the essence of this tier of temporal life forms. Moyu Tower Master and other unparalleled great saints once paid an infinite price of blood and toil to hunt a wondrous life form with rich temporal bloodlines. But wasn't it just to try to contact the subtle information of the 13th tier through its bloodline? Lin Yuan, however, got straight to the point and directly condensed the talent from a 13th tier life form. Now, in terms of physical body and soul body within my universe, I've already grown to the utmost limit, and I can completely step into the Master Realm. Lin Yuan's mind stirred slightly and began to enter the Master Realm. Of course, it's just that this current physical body enters the Master Realm. As for the true body in the Chaos Void, he plans to be cautious about that. Wait until this physical body completely enters the Master Realm, then go for the breakthrough over there. With Lin Yuan's profound accumulation, expanding the path to the Master is a matter of course, without any unexpected changes. But if there's a more stable method, why not use it? This physical body in the source world, Lin Yuan can abandon, but the true body in the chaos void, unless absolutely necessary, Lin Yuan is still reluctant to give it up. If an extreme situation arises while expanding the path to the Master, with the physical body of the source world exploring the way, Lin Yuan will be more composed. Both the physical body and soul are beginning to transform. Lin Yuan carefully sensed the subtle changes in himself, simultaneously regulating them to steer the changes towards the direction he desired. This physical body, in terms of foundation and depth, is not as good as the true body. Lin Yuan objectively evaluated, the true body in the chaos void endured the chaos void origin infusion thrice, amplifying the influence on the internal universe to an unprecedented extent. Whereas in this source world there is no such benefit, but the fierce sun divine body and the seed of the fierce sun grant Lin Yuan benefits nearly equaling the true body. City Lord's Mansion. One by one, the aura of Great Lord spread. For millennia, the tension between Qingfen Domain and Purple Dream Domain has grown, and both sides have mobilized multiple Great Lord-level powerhouses, ready to engage at any time. Over at the capital of the fierce Sun Ancient Country, there is significant interest in the situation between Qingfen Domain and Purple Dream Domain, with a royal family member personally taking charge, directing this war. Most of the great lords gathered here have been mobilized by that royal family member. Yuyan, you've come. Lord Qingfen greeted Lin Yuan, who had condensed into form. Lin Yuan nodded. With so many great lords present, it would be somewhat discourteous if he, as a disciple of Lord Qingfen, didn't show up. However, Lin Yuan here is only the primordial spirit. As for the true body, it's still in seclusion at the sky-burning court, experiencing the nuances of entering the Master Realm. Lin Yuan's two primordial spirits convert through the illusory reality secret technique, making it impossible for outsiders to distinguish. The other great lords present also looked towards Lin Yuan, nodding slightly with goodwill. Being fellow great lords of the fierce Sun Ancient Country, when facing hostile ancient countries, there's naturally no room for internal strife. The great lords present here are generally on good terms with Lord Qingfen. The royal family member in charge will not summon great lords who have grievances with Lord Qingfen. Great Venerate Hongye. Lin Yuan sat beside Great Venerate Hongye, one of the few great lords he had interacted with. 1,000 years ago, the two had traded, with Lin Yuan exchanging the myriad formation crystal with Great Venerate Hongye for a large amount of cultivation resources. Great Venerate Hongye possessed terrifying strength, even surpassing Lord Qingfen. The war is likely to begin soon. Great Venerate Hongye, who had a good impression of Lin Yuan, spoke with a slightly sentimental tone. He is not a vassal of the fierce Sun ancient country and appears here entirely by the invitation of Lord Qingfen. Indeed, the Purple Dream domain should be almost ready. Lin Yuan nodded. For 1,000 years, he has devoted almost all his energy to cultivation and seclusion but has roughly understood the situation between the two domains. After a millennium of preparation, the Purple Dream domain has gathered a lot of strong individuals, as has the Qingfen domain. Both sides are ready to go, waiting for someone to break the fragile balance. Later, we will go to the border. Lord Qingfen, seated in the main position, said. Going to the border is mainly to see how many great lords the Purple Dream domain has sent over and to familiarize themselves in advance. The great lords present chatted for a moment, with Lin Yuan mostly listening and observing the many great lords. These great lords have all developed their unique path of power from the chaos. Lin Yuan secretly observes and often gains a bit of insight. Previously, most of Lin Yuan's time was spent in that crimson world, observing the figure of the ancestor of Fierce Sunday. However, the information contained within that figure was too vast, too grand. Occasionally observing these great lords is also a different kind of experience for Lin Yuan. Most of the great lords of the fierce Sun ancient country follow the path of the chaos flame. Lin Yuan thought to himself, a few, like Great Venerate Hongye, besides the chaos flame, realized the path of chaos life. This is also very normal. After all, the environment of the fierce Sun ancient country is such, and the flame of fierce Sun mastered by the ancestor has a significant impact on all living beings within the ancient country. A moment later, Sar the Nefire. Et website on Google to access chapters of novels early and in the highest quality. Under the leadership of Lord Qingfen, all the great lords present arrived at the border of the Qingfen domain. Qingfen City has a space-time passage directly leading to the border, which is also to prevent the Purple Dream domain from suddenly starting a war, leaving the great lords of Qingfen domain unable to support in time. What is this? Lin Yuan's expression changed slightly. He had previously been to the border area between the two domains, but compared to now, the current border area gave Lin Yuan a completely different feeling. If you find any errors, ads pop up, ads redirect, broken links, non-standard content, etc., please let us know reports so we can fix it as soon as possible. Chapter 1091. Stepping into Domination, Subscription Requested. Lin Yuan glanced ahead. At this moment, the border had already transformed into war, with massive war machines confronting each other. Each war machine was inscribed with a corresponding military array, housing numerous path-splitting realm and even dominator realm experts. Lin Yuan's gaze landed on one war machine, which was manned by 1,888 dominator realm experts. Nearly 2,000 dominator realm experts jointly operated the war machine, seamlessly merging their powers, and further amplified by the military array. The impact of such a strike was enough to make ordinary great lords take it seriously. Of course, this war machine that could accommodate nearly 2,000 dominator realm experts was extremely precious. The power of each dominator realm expert was unique, and to fuse such a multitude of powers instantly and enhance them is an extremely difficult task. This is the strength of the ancient country, Lin Yuan thought with some sentiment. In the chaos void, the strong are respected. No number of dominator realm experts could threaten a chaos venerable. Dominator realm against chaos realm would be completely crushed. Numbers are entirely meaningless. But in this source world, leveraging the power of war machines allows the weak to make an impact. Quantitative change can lead to qualitative change. It said the ancient country has even stronger war machines, capable of housing multiple great lords, Lin Yuan mused. Each great lord has evolved their unique power from chaos, and to fuse different exclusive chaotic powers together is as difficult as ascending to the heavens. Therefore, war machines that can accommodate multiple great lords essentially represent the foundation of each ancient country, serving as weapons against heavenly venerate-level experts. According to the current intensity of the impending war between the Purple Dream Domain and Qingfen Domain, it was far from reaching the level necessitating such war machines. Not even 10 war machines that can house Dominator Realm experts would be used. The emperors of the two ancient countries would not easily trigger such intense warfare. It's important to note that any full-scale war involving the two ancient countries would draw the attention of the founding ancestor, and if they lost, it would be hard to explain to the founding ancestor. If there's a chance, get a war machine to study. Lin Yuan glanced at the war machines in confrontation and thought to himself. Sarch * the Nefire. At website on Google to access chapters of novels early and in the highest quality. Essentially, war machines are merely carriers, primarily executing the effects of the military array inscribed on them. And the military array is a secret of each ancient country. Even if a war machine falls into enemy hands during warfare, it would immediately self-destruct. Therefore, Lin Yuan had almost no possibility of acquiring war machines from rival ancient countries. But while there's no hope for rival ancient country war machines, he could attempt those from the fierce Sun ancient country. As long as he could comprehend the military array inscribed on a war machine, Lin Yuan could potentially replicate it into the chaos void. This way, the human civilization would gain such a groundbreaking legacy. Lin Yuan seemed to notice something, looking far into the distance. In the Purple Dream Domain, figures started appearing, all Great Lord-level beings. Purple Dream, Spirit Might King kicked off the war proactively. Isn't he worried about losing the war and facing penalties? Lord Qingfen began communicating with the opposing side. This war, centering on Qingfen Domain and Purple Dream Domain, involved dozens of surrounding major domains, entirely driven by Spirit Might King's intent. You needn't worry about that, just think about whether you can protect your Qingfen Domain. Marquis Purple Dream retorted undauntedly. The great lords on both sides kept a cool observation, eyeing their opponents for the near future. The great lords appearing now were the surface-level figures from both sides, the true cards. Naturally, they wouldn't be exposed now, awaiting deployment at crucial moments. But even if they weren't the true cards, prior engagement would still be beneficial. Regardless if it's the fierce Sun ancient country or a rival ancient country, there were great lords skilled in reconnaissance, potentially uncovering some critical intelligence. There are 5 peak great lords. Lin Yuan observed as well, in the Purple Dream Domain, out of nearly 20 great lords, 5 had particularly striking auras, nearly matching Lord Qingfen's strength. A short while later, Lord Qingfen and the Great Lords returned to the City Lord's mansion. The Great Lords from the Purple Dream Domain did likewise, both sides with considerable tacit understanding, leaving after a brief standoff without any clashes. Inside the City Lord's mansion, 18 Great Lords sat down in sequence. What do you all think? Lord Qingfen spoke. Once the war starts, are we confident in handling it? Through the brief engagement earlier, each Great Lord surely had their opinions. If the experts from the Purple Dream Domain are only these, then our chances of winning the upcoming battle are still high. Great Venerate Hongye spoke. The present Great Lords mostly agreed. In terms of Great Lord numbers, both sides were similar. If they engaged in all-out combat, it was highly likely to become a stalemate. And for Qingfen Domain, a stalemate equaled victory. Since Spirit Might King dared to start the war, he surely has confidence in victory. What we've seen now is certainly not all of the enemy's tricks. A Great Lord spoke, not too optimistic in tone. Lord Qingfen nodded, sharing the same thought. What I'm most worried about is Spirit Might King's brother. Lord Qingfen expressed his thoughts. Spirit Might King's brother? The Great Lord's expressions subtly shifted. Even Hongye Venerable frowned. Spirit Might King, from the royal lineage, naturally his brother was also royal. Compared to Spirit Might King, his brother's bloodline had reached the level of core royalty a long time ago. If you find any errors, ads pop up, ads redirect, broken links, non-standard content, etc., please let us know reports so we can fix it as soon as possible. Chapter 1092, Stepping into domination, subscription requested, _2 The other party, however, did not have ambitions of becoming an emperor, but was wholly immersed in cultivation. Not every member of the ancient royal family desires to be emperor. If Spirit Might King calls upon his brother, things will get difficult. Great Venerate Hongye said with a frown. As a key member of the royal family, their combat power has always been able to dominate those at the same level. And Spirit Might King's brother is at the level of Great Lord. Once such a powerful being takes action, unless fierce Sun Ancient Country sends out a Great Lord from the core royal family, or directly dispatches a heavenly Venerate level figure, they will basically be unstoppable. Spirit Might King's brother is a core royal family member, most likely he won't act easily. A Great Lord pointed out, although the core royal family's Great Lord is not a heavenly Venerate, they're almost there. Mobilizing such level beings could significantly increase the intensity of a war. No matter what, we must prevent the worst-case scenario. Lord Xingfen, however, did not relax his vigilance, planning to request aid from Red Pine King. Red Pine King is the royal family royally appointed to lead this war from the fierce Sun Ancient Country. In this war, Lord Xingfen is definitely the Great Lord most unwilling to lose. Once Xingfen domain falls, the foundations he has built over the years will be gone. Even if the fierce Sun Ancient Country gives him another territory, he would have to start anew, and the cost is enormous. Chaos Void. Star Tears Fragment World. Within a manor, Lin Yuan appeared, looking at Lin Shouqing and Lu Qiong. Xian, why have you come? Mother Lu Qiong turned, surprised, and smiled. You are now a myth in our human civilization, even when compared to the 9 supreme beings. After moving to the new home, Lin Yuan's prestige within human civilization has reached an inconceivable height. Lin Yuan could even continuously feel the faith powers ceaselessly converging toward him. The countless citizens of the human civilization have started to fervently worship Lin Yuan, thereby generating vast amounts of faith power. With this faith power, Lin Yuan could easily walk the path of becoming a deity through faith. Within the Chaos Void, there was no shortage of beings ascending to the path-splitting realm and even the 12th level of Dominion realm through this path. With the collective power, the cultivation speed would be terrifyingly fast, virtually without any bottlenecks. Naturally, with great power comes great risk. Presently, this path has yet to produce a Chaos Venerable. Lin Yuan's original martial Tao was innately boundless in potential. He naturally wouldn't abandon the supreme path to absorb faith power, thus cutting off future prospects. Besides, with Lin Yuan's against heaven's understanding, even if he took the path of faith, it might not necessarily be a dead end, although it was completely unnecessary. Cultivation and evolution itself is an extremely pure personal journey. To absorb the faith power from the masses would be tantamount to actively polluting his path, becoming increasingly difficult as one progresses. Lin Yuan's propagation of the evolution path was not to harvest the masses but rather to use them as anchor points, preventing his own fall and losing direction. The principles between the two are entirely different. Have you cultivated the evolution path I provided for you? After chatting with his parents for a while, Lin Yuan inquired. The evolution path he referred to was naturally crafted entirely based on numerous conditions suited to his own parents. Sarch * the novel of IR. NT website on Google to access chapters of novels early and in the highest quality. Unfortunately, Lin Yuan's parents lacked significant evolution talents. Even if they rely on evolution potions and longevity elixirs to continue living, weakening and distorting of their mental will is unavoidable. During the cosmic era, some special beings at the level 11 perfect had theoretically eternal lifespans, capable of living from the universe's creation to its demise. Yet why do they continue to slow their personal time flow, while thousands or even tens of thousands of years pass externally in an instant? It's precisely because living for too long can lead to a distortion of mental will. Without a sturdy mentality, even an uncorruptible body and soul are meaningless. Lin Yuan was concerned his parents might end up in this situation. Though he could resurrect his parents innumerable times with his power, mental will distortion isn't something resurrection could resolve. Xiaoyun, your dad and I have been cultivating lately. Upon hearing this, Lu Qiong immediately gained interest. I don't know why, but cultivating on the evolution path you gave feels both easy and simple. Lin Shoucheng by the side also rarely showed a trace of a smile. This indeed was the case. Before, within the cosmic era, they tried many evolution paths, only to find them extremely hard and obscure. That's good. Lin Yuan nodded. How could it not be easy? How could it not be simple? The 2 evolution paths Lin Yuan gave his parents were entirely tailored for them, requiring far more effort than the 9 evolution paths reserved for the 9 supreme beings. Remember to keep cultivating at all times. Evolution is the only method for life's immortality. Lin Yuan remarked. He hoped his parents would not reach the point of mental distortion. Of course, son. Now I am full of motivation for cultivation. Father Lin Shoucheng affirmed immediately. Before, when he cultivated, it was challenging, so naturally he had little interest in it. But now, cultivating on the evolution path Lin Yuan provided felt as if he were an evolution genius, naturally giving him ample motivation. Lin Yuan smiled upon hearing this. Xian Yuan and the others are looking for me? Lin Yuan was moved, and as he chatted with his parents, a manifestation gathered before Xian Yuan Supreme and other supreme beings. Galaxy. Xian Yuan Supreme, Xiaqin Supreme, and other supreme beings greeted Lin Yuan at once. Check out the fine wine I brewed. Xian Yuan Supreme promptly pushed a wine glass towards Lin Yuan. If you find any errors, ads pop up, ads redirect, broken links, non-standard content, etc., please let us know reports so we can fix it as soon as possible. Chapter 1093, Stepping into Domination, subscription requested, _3" The taste is quite good. Lin Yuan carefully savored a sip and praised it. In terms of enhancing the body and soul, the wine brewed by the Xian Yuan Supreme is usually akin to that in the Chaos Void, where the effects of those heavenly wines and spiritual wines are extraordinarily numerous. However, the taste was truly unique. Too bad, Gully Void God, they can't taste such fine wine anymore. The Supreme Xiaqin also enjoyed a sip cheerfully. The ancient power Supreme Being, Void God Ultimate Being, had voluntarily dispersed the Tao 1,000 years ago to cultivate the martial Tao path given by Lin Yuan. Before they recover to the 12-star level, it's likely that all their focus would be on cultivation, with no interest in tasting fine wine. This lack of interest was not due to sensing any danger, but rather from the fact that their original strength was at the 12-star level. Their strength fell after dispersing the Tao, creating a sense of disparity, so they wouldn't want to appear before other supreme beings. Void God, Guli, they are probably about to emerge from seclusion. As the master of the shard world of the star tier, Lin Yuan was able to understand the cultivation progress of the 2 supreme beings after dispersing the Tao with just a thought. Over 1,000 years, the 2 supreme beings had recultivated to the 10th rank. Since it was a recultivation, there is no talk of a final leap. Once they reach the 11th rank peak, they can directly enter the 12-star level. The ancient power Supreme Being, Void God Ultimate Being were able to cultivate so quickly primarily because they were recultivating in the path-splitting realm. The stages like the 1st, 2nd, and 3rd layers naturally couldn't stop them. Additionally, because the martial Tao path they followed was specifically perfected by Lin Yuan for them. Although the dedication involved wasn't comparable to the evolution path given to his parents, it was entirely sufficient for the 2 supreme beings. Are they about to emerge from seclusion? Hearing this, the Xian Yuan Xiaqin Supreme Being felt a surge of anticipation. With Guli and Void God returning to the 12-star level, it meant that among the remaining supreme beings, 2 more would be practicing the martial Tao path. Indeed. Lin Yuan nodded. At the same time, he felt quite good. If nothing unexpected happens, the ancient power Supreme Being and Void God Ultimate Being will be the first lives among many paths in the martial arts evolution road to enter the 12-star level. The birth of 2 12-star beings from the martial Tao evolution path is also a unique blessing for Lin Yuan, the ancestor of martial arts. Over the millennium, through spreading via the 10,000 Paths Pavilion, more than 1,000 paths of the martial arts evolution road have been inherited in many void domains. However, among all the martial Tao cultivators, there is still a long way to go to the 12-star level. After all, they do not enjoy the treatment of the 9 supreme beings and must continue experimenting with the martial Tao path they are cultivating. Suddenly, Lin Yuan felt a stir in his heart. The clone in the origin world has entered the master realm, and no accident occurred during the process. A smile appeared on Lin Yuan's face. Then I will also directly enter the master realm. With this thought, the true self, deep in the shard world of the star tier, silently disappeared and appeared in the vast chaos of the infinite void. Chaos chi drifted. Lin Yuan's figure appeared. Entering the master realm in the chaos void is quite different from entering the master realm in the origin world. Lin Yuan sat cross-legged, thinking quickly in his heart. The primary difference is the different inner universe. Even though both have succeeded in infinite void at the first layer, the size of the internal universe of the source world body will not be as large as the internal universe of the chaos void body. Because the former does not have the 12-star superb wonder like the chaos tree to root and bless. Not to mention, the latter has gone through 3 chaos void origin infusions. Therefore, for breakthrough, the transformation magnitude that the internal universe of the chaos void body needs to achieve will exceed the source world's body by a significant margin. Let's begin. After pondering for a moment, Lin Yuan immediately released the suppression of all aspects of his body, including the universe within the soul body. In an instant, the first to start evolving was the internal universe. Boom! The originally 33,333,000 light-years sized inner universe nearly fell into a state of expansion stagnation, but now, as Lin Yuan began to break through, it immediately started expanding crazily again. My internal universe, having endured 3 chaos void origin infusions, combined with the value of the chaos tree, and having practiced infinite void first layer, once a breakthrough is made, it will surely require a massive amount of energy support. Lin Yuan glanced around, where endless chaos chi drifted. Although not pure, the internal universe did not mind these aspects, as long as it could absorb and devour. As Lin Yuan's internal universe once again plunged into frantic expansion, it immediately drew the attention of many lives, as Lin Yuan's internal universe was home to some powerful beings, including dozens of 12-star aliens from the cosmic era. After completely submitting to Lin Yuan, these 12-star aliens had been staying in the internal universe, awaiting Lin Yuan's orders. The internal universe of the Galaxy Supreme Being is expanding dramatically again? How many times has it been now? Even the legendary Chaos Venerable's internal universe could hardly have such enormous pressure, right? The power of the Galaxy Supreme Being is terrifying. The dozens of 12-star aliens quivered in their hearts, especially since many of them initially wanted to surround and kill the Galaxy Supreme Being. Billions of light-years away, a silver large ship sped past. On the bow of the silver ship stood several figures. Dear junior brothers and sisters, although the chaos void is fraught with danger, you can rest assured with me here. This treasure ship is at the pinnacle of the master realm, enough to take you safely to the destination. The leader was a man with a black beard, his face showing a self-satisfied expression. The chaos void is indeed full of danger, but that is for the common path-splitting realm beings. For him, a master realm powerhouse, still with the black treasure ship at the master realm pinnacle? Naturally, there is no danger. Master, you're amazing. The junior brothers and sisters behind him immediately exclaimed. The silver large ship emitted a heavy aura, giving them a great sense of security. But Master, didn't you notice that the chaos chi around has become a bit thin? One of the junior brothers couldn't help but say, compared to the man with black beard, he had been carefully observing the many changes around. Chaos chi has become thin? The black-bearded man was slightly stunned and, upon careful inspection, noticed this change as well. Why has it become thin? Following the position where the chaos chi drifted, the black-bearded man vaguely found that all the chaos chi seemed to head toward a specific direction. What is this? The expression of the black-bearded man changed slightly. With his massive perception as a master realm being, he vaguely noticed that it wasn't just this region's chaos chi behaving this way, but the chaos chi of the surrounding million light-years and tens of millions of light-years as well. It seemed as if at the source of all the chaos chi, there existed an unprecedented chaos creature recklessly devouring endless chaos chi. Oh no! The expression of the black-bearded man changed dramatically, and he immediately drove the galactic large ship to escape frantically in the direction opposite to the congregation of chaos chi. Dear junior brothers and sisters, prepare yourselves for possible demise. The black-bearded man's tone was extremely solemn, with a faint trace of despair. As these words fell, the junior brothers and sisters behind them became somewhat dumbfounded. They looked around and didn't discover anything. CTH Nefire. Et website on Google to access chapters of novels early and in the highest quality. Master, their faces turned pale. Although they didn't know why the master said this. But surely it was because of a danger that couldn't be resisted. Just where does this danger come from? If you find any errors, ads pop up, ads redirect, broken links, non-standard content, etc., please let us know reports so we can fix it as soon as possible. Chapter 1094 Transformation of Strength, Subscription Requested, Endless Chaos Chi surged, rolling deeper in. Under the desperate exertion of the black-bearded man at the peak of the Dominator realm. The silver ship struggled to sail against the current, like a lonely boat on a vast ocean, poised to capsize at any moment amidst the chaotic chi surrounding it. Cold sweat dripped from the black-bearded man's brow. As time passed, he faintly perceived a terrifying gravitational pull, as if a giant beast was devouring the skies. The junior brothers and sisters beside him finally realized the gravity of the situation and stood trembling in the corners. Hold on, hold on. The black-bearded man took a deep breath, resolutely beginning to burn his inner universe origin source. For a 12th-layer powerhouse, the inner universe was the foundation of their being. Burning the inner universe origin source was akin to burning the foundation. Though this would indeed bring a significant boost in strength, the resulting consequences would be unbearable, leading to irreversible damage. But at this moment, the black-bearded man could not afford to worry about that. He had a feeling that if they couldn't withstand the omnipresent pull, their fate would be far worse than burning their inner universe origin source. Buzzing noises filled the air. Inside the silver ship, formations were running in overdrive. No one knew how much time had passed when the black-bearded man finally noticed that the gravitational pull around them was gradually weakening. Have we broken free? The black-bearded man's breath was unsteady, but his face showed wild joy, furiously increasing the propulsion of the silver ship. At last, the silver ship steadied slightly, breaking free from the astonishing gravitational pull. Phew! The black-bearded man stepped back a few steps. He no longer knew how long it had been since he fought so desperately. The scene he just experienced made him feel as if he had returned to his 6th-layer existence, witnessing a peak Dominator realm ancestor in the sect. No, this feeling now was far more shocking and desperate. Senior brother, are we safe now? At this time, the junior brothers and sisters in the nearby path-splitting realm cautiously walked over and asked probing questions. Barring any unexpected events, we should be safe now. The black-bearded man thought for a moment, his tone not too certain. The heavens knew whether that astonishing gravitational pull would return or even strengthen, but given the current situation, it seemed they were out of danger. Upon hearing this, the junior brothers and sisters felt a sense of relief. Senior brother, what was that gravitational pull just now? Yeah, it felt like my soul and mind were being drawn away. The junior brothers and sisters immediately inquired, their hearts still faintly trembling. I'm not sure either. The black-bearded man shook his head. Probably some spectacle life in the chaos realm is inhaling? The black-bearded man had seen the chaos venerable. The strongest in his faction was a venerable. But even a venerable couldn't possibly inhale all the chaos chi from the chaos void spanning millions to billions of light years, right? Only those spectacle beings born from the chaos void, with innate strong talent and aptitude, could possibly cause such a scene? Spectacle life? Sir, the novel fire. Net website on Google to access chapters of novels early and in the highest quality. Chaos realm level? The junior brothers and sisters swallowed. Spectacle beings were inherently powerful, often sweeping across peers. Those with special bloodlines could even challenge a peak dominator realm at the Chaos Venerable level. A spectacle being of the Chaos realm? Such an existence, ordinary Chaos Venerables would likely not dare provoke. We're quite lucky that Chaos Realm spectacle being didn't pay attention to us. The black-bearded man's voice carried a tone of fortunate relief. From detecting the pull to finally barely breaking free, he faced no obstruction. This was also the key to his escape. We are too weak. In the eyes of the Chaos Realm spectacle being, we're probably no different from the drifting Chaos Chi, hence they wouldn't focus on us. The black-bearded man felt slightly emotional. Sometimes being weak is actually a good thing? Amidst the surging endless Chaos Chi, Lin Yuan sat cross-legged in silence. At this moment, Lin Yuan fully released constraints, appearing in this chaotic abyss in his true form, exceeding tens of millions of light years in size. Every inhale and exhale engulfed a massive amount of Chaos Chi. Finally crossed into the Dominator realm. Lin Yuan opened his eyes, a smile on his face. Entering the Dominator realm signifies a fundamental transformation in life's essence, naturally requiring vast energy support. In this chaos void, there was no shortage of Chaos Chi, which was also a form of energy. However, the Chaos Chi ubiquitous in the chaos void isn't pure, making it hard for path-splitting realm or Dominator realm beings to directly absorb. But Lin Yuan was different. He had long comprehended the method to directly absorb Chaos Chi, and with his profound foundation, even the most heterogeneous Chaos Chi could be forcibly absorbed. Regardless of whether it's heterogeneous or pure, it is fundamentally energy. Now Lin Yuan carefully sensed his own transformation. After entering the Dominator realm, the most significant change was naturally the inner universe. The inner universe now spans over 100 billion light years. Lin Yuan felt joyous in spirit. At the peak of the path-splitting realm, Lin Yuan's ultimate inner universe spanned about 33 million light years. Now it directly reached 100 billion light years? The diameter alone increased by 300 times. In terms of volume, the growth far exceeded 300 times. 100 billion light years, inner universe, is only its size upon my initial entry into the Dominator realm, and it will rapidly grow later on. If you find any errors, ads pop up, ads redirect, broken links, non-standard content, etc., please let us know reports so we can fix it as soon as possible. Chapter 1095 Strength Transformation, Requesting Subscriptions, _2 Lin Yuan thought to himself. According to his estimation, his internal universe, at the limit of the Master Realm, will reach a range of hundreds of billions of light years. The internal universe of a normal Chaos Venerable is within a range of hundreds of billions of light years in diameter. If I grow to the extreme in the Master Realm, I can match the internal universe of a Chaos Venerable in size, Lin Yuan pondered. This is comparing the size of the internal universe. In fact, Lin Yuan's internal universe, after being perfected by the infinite void, when it was merely a domain of tens of millions of light years, was already comparable to the internal universe of a Chaos Venerable spanning hundreds of billions of light years. When Lin Yuan's internal universe expands to a range of hundreds of billions of light years, ordinary Chaos Venerables, even if their life level is higher than Lin Yuan's, would be swept away by the terrifying foundation of his internal universe, beneath the Chaos Great Saint. The strength of the internal universe is not just determined by size. Diamond and carbon have the same constituent particles, but their hardness is vastly different. If I step into the Chaos realm, won't my internal universe reach a diameter of trillions, tens of trillions, or even hundreds of trillions of light years? Lin Yuan's thoughts spread out. It is known that a naturally born universe in the normal chaos void is about 1 trillion light years in diameter. And as long as Lin Yuan crosses into the chaos realm, Will his internal universe surpass the naturally born universe in size? So strong. Lin Yuan couldn't help but exclaim, at the same time thinking of the infinite void inheritance. Up to now, the internal universe of Lin Yuan has reached such heights, driven by many factors, such as 3 times the chaos void origin infusion, suppression by the chaos tree, and so on. But the main reason is still this 13th order inheritance from the Jade Gourd. To be precise, it is the inheritance created by the 13th order time life from its foundation, specifically to enhance the foundation of living beings. The creator of the Jade Gourd, that 13th order time life, left behind inheritances not only targeting the foundation with infinite void but also body, soul, mind, and will. Lin Yuan recalled the words of the red-clad girl, his expression inevitably poignant. Just the infinite void aiming at the foundation has elevated him so much. If he were to cultivate all the inheritances left by that 13th order time life, what kind of freak would it create? Being able to acquire infinite void is already lucky enough. Wanting other 13th order inheritances would be a bit greedy. Lin Yuan shook his head slightly. Can't let all the good things fall to him? But my current strength. Lin Yuan began to evaluate himself, initially entering the Master Realm level, with Live's essence elevated and transformed, and the internal universe's physical body and soul all skyrocketed. This made Lin Yuan's strength nearly reach the pinnacle level of the Chaos Realm. I wonder if, after reaching the extreme in the Master Realm, I can be invincible among venerables and be comparable to that Chaos Great Saint? Lin Yuan pondered. Though venerables and great saints both belong to the Chaos Realm, there's a vast difference in combat power. The battle between the Shadow Demon Great Saint and the 9 Phoenix Great Saint, even just the aftermath, led the ancient Ming Venerable to decide to relocate the Chaos Continent. From this, one can glean a thing or two. However, Lin Yuan's foundation is here. If he could truly grow to the limit of the Master Realm, cultivate many means to the extremity, infinite void, 2nd layer, or even the 3rd layer. Even if it still cannot directly contend with a great saint, the gap would not be too large. Time to leave. Lin Yuan's figure swiftly shrank, then glanced around. During his breakthrough, the absorbing of chaotic chi from all directions caused quite a stir, having already caught the attention of some Chaos Venerables. These Chaos Venerables were unsure of what kind of strong presence Lin Yuan was, so they did not immediately probe but hovered from a great distance. Swoosh! Lin Yuan's figure disappeared directly, having no intention of contacting other Chaos Venerables. Left. Who was it after all? A spectacle of life? Or a certain pinnacle of the Chaos Realm? One by one, the wills of the Chaos Venerables reached out, exchanging with each other. The scene of massively absorbing chaotic chi just now had shocked the venerables of several void domains around. Even though they couldn't sense the aura the other party exuded, just the movement of chaotic chi around made many venerables shudder. Seems he doesn't wish to meet us. Forget it, let's all go back. Many Chaos Venerables were somewhat regretful. Being able to cultivate to a Chaos Venerable, naturally, they have long passed the stage of fighting and killing. For a Chaos Venerable, making acquaintance with a powerful Venerable is definitely beneficial without any harm. The existence that just absorbed vast chaotic chi clearly fell under the category of a powerful Venerable. Sar the Novel Fire. Net website on Google to access chapters of novels early and in the highest quality. Why do I feel somewhat familiar? The ancient Ming Venerable also sent out a projection of consciousness. Although the existence that engulfed endless chaotic chi did not leak the slightest aura, even the cause and effect were concealed. Still, the ancient Ming Venerable vaguely felt familiar. Star Tears Fragment World. The Xianyuan Supreme, Xiaqin Supreme, and several other Supremes wore grave expressions. Just now, while they were having a good conversation with the Galaxy Supreme, Lin Yuan's avatar dissipated directly, leaving only the words "have urgent matters to attend to." This made the Supremes a bit worried. Urgent matters? What urgent matters could human civilization have nowadays? At this moment, Star Tears Fragment World trembled slightly, and Lin Yuan's figure appeared before Xiaqin Supreme and the others. "Galaxy, are you okay?" The Xinyuan Supreme immediately asked with concern. "If you find any errors, ads pop up, ads redirect, broken links, non-standard content, etc., please let us know reports so we can fix it as soon as possible." Chapter 1096 Strength Transformation, Requesting Subscriptions, _3 The Novel Fire. NE*T website on Google to access chapters of novels early and in the highest quality. The expression of Xiaqin, the Supreme Being standing nearby, changed subtly. "It's nothing." Lin Yuan smiled and said, "Crossing into dominion through path splitting is indeed an elevation of realm, and to be cautious, Lin Yuan dispersed most of the incarnations directly. "Galaxy, what am I feeling?" The Xinyuan Supreme Being observed Lin Yuan more and more carefully, becoming increasingly astonished, and finally couldn't help but ask. Even though Lin Yuan tried his best to suppress his own aura, the Xinyuan Supreme Being still vaguely perceived the changes in Lin Yuan before and after. The oppressive feeling brought by the leap in the level of life and the qualitative change in strength made the Xinyuan Supreme Being feel a deep awe. "Just now, I went to make a breakthrough." Lin Yuan did not conceal anything and said directly. The 9 supreme beings of human civilization, including the Xinyuan Supreme Being, could be trusted according to Lin Yuan, and he wouldn't hide many things from them. "A breakthrough? Galaxy, you made a breakthrough?" Xiaqin, the Supreme Being, was overjoyed. Lin Yuan is now the towering pillar of human civilization, his status surpassing the 9 supreme beings. The stronger Lin Yuan becomes, the stronger human civilization will be. "A breakthrough? Galaxy, have you crossed into the Dominion realm?" The Xinyuan Supreme Being's tone was filled with emotion. They had entered the 12th stage hundreds of thousands of years before Lin Yuan, but now it hadn't been long before Lin Yuan had completely surpassed them and crossed into the Dominion realm. This kind of surpassing is purely on a realm level. As for combat power, the Xinyuan Supreme Being and several other Supreme Beings suspected that even before Lin Yuan stepped into the 12th stage, he had already exceeded some Supreme Beings in terms of combat strength. "Galaxy, how strong are you now?" Feather Butterfly Supreme Being was somewhat curious, and the other Supreme Beings were also curious. In the universe, when Lin Yuan had just entered the 12th stage of the path-splitting realm, the Supreme Beings had also asked this question. At that time, the answer given by Lin Yuan was comparable to the peak of the path-splitting realm within the universe and comparable to the Dominion realm outside the universe. Now that Lin Yuan has directly crossed into the Dominion realm, what level of actual strength has he reached? "Equivalent to the Chaos realm, I suppose," Lin Yuan said casually. "Chaos realm?" Several Supreme Beings took a deep breath. Even though they had some guesses before asking, hearing Lin Yuan admit it personally still made their hearts tremble uncontrollably. "Chaos realm? That is the realm of the Chaos Venerable. Even in the Chaos Void, the Chaos Venerable ones hold a high position. For instance, the fragment world they are now in is just a small part of the Chaos continent opened by the ancient Ming Venerable. Does our human civilization also have a Venerable now?" The Xinyuan Supreme Being's eyes faintly turned red, much like the other Supreme Beings. The implication of Lin Yuan's words was akin to the era when human civilization in the universe finally gave birth to the first Supreme Being after years of dormancy. No, that's not right. The former is of far greater significance than the latter. This is a Chaos Venerable. In fact, what the Xinyuan Supreme Being and the other Supreme Beings do not know is that what Lin Yuan referred to as equivalent to the Chaos Realm actually means equivalent to the peak of the Chaos Realm. The ordinary Chaos Realm and the peak of the Chaos Realm are 2 different concepts. Although the gap is not as large as that between a respected one and a great saint, the peak of the Chaos Realm is significantly superior to the ordinary Chaos Realm in terms of impact and strength methods. This is still the strength of Lin Yuan's newly advanced Dominion Realm, and as time progresses, Lin Yuan's strength will enter a phase of continuous soaring. After chatting with several Supreme Beings for a while, Lin Yuan began a new round of seclusion. Entering the Dominion Realm, I can now cultivate the infinite void second layer. Lin Yuan thought to himself. During the path-splitting realm, due to the low essence of life, even with the suppression of the chaos tree, it was impossible to master the infinite void second layer. Now there is no longer such a restriction. Infinite void. Bits and pieces of the second layer of this 13th stage inheritance flashed across Lin Yuan's mind. Given the current intensity of the cosmic foundation within Lin Yuan, once the infinite void second layer is mastered, the internal universe will reach a level close to that of the Chaos Great Saints' internal universe. The Chaos Great Saints of the Chaos Void evolve a power path exclusive to themselves from within chaos, and the enhancement of their internal universe is extremely terrifying. The aftereffects of a Chaos Great Saint's casual movement are sufficient to seriously injure an ordinary Chaos Venerable. The contained essence is not only the comprehension of rules but also of vast magnitude surpassing that of a Venerable. Internal universe. The jade gourd trembled slightly, and the red-clad young girl condensed her form, her expression slightly amazed as she looked around. The 13th stage foundational inheritance infinite void can indeed greatly enhance the internal universe of a living being, but someone like Lin Yuan far exceeded the young girl's expectations. The extent reached by Lin Yuan's internal universe is mainly due to infinite void, but beyond this inheritance, many other reasons contributed. Who knows, it might really be possible to reach the 7th layer? The red-clad young girl thought silently in her heart. Infinite void has 7 layers in total, among which the 7th layer is merely a theoretical realm. Once mastered, the internal universe will transform into an enormity comparable to the entire chaos void. Deep in the chaos continent of Ancient Ming. Ancient Ming Venerable's brow slightly knit as he fell into thought. Ancient Ming, what's happening? A black-robed youth emerged from the side, asking somewhat puzzled. As a companion of Ancient Ming Venerable, the black-robed youth rarely saw Ancient Ming Venerable in such a state. Just now, Ancient Ming Venerable roughly explained what had happened earlier. A presence suspected to be at the peak of the Chaos Realm, or a wondrous life form of the Chaos Realm, had staged a spectacle of inhalations spanning hundreds of billions to trillions of light-years in the nearby void domain. To absorb Chaos Chi over such a vast area, it has to be either a Chaos Realm peak or a wondrous life of the Chaos Realm. The Blackrobe youth also made the same judgment. But it doesn't really concern us, and recently I haven't foreseen any danger. The black-robed youth was somewhat puzzled. I speculate the one absorbing a large range of Chaos Chi. Ancient Ming Venerable took a deep breath and then said solemnly, "It's that galaxy. If you find any errors, ads pop up, ads redirect, broken links, non-standard content, etc. Please let us know reports so we can fix it as soon as possible." Chapter 1097 The Seventh Physical Body Divine Ability, Seeking Subscription, Galaxy? The young man in the black robe couldn't believe it. He and the Ancient Ming Venerable had speculated a lot about this galaxy, mostly believing that he was a great saint reincarnated. However, even if one were a great saint reincarnated, cultivating without bottlenecks or hindrances, a millennium ago, Galaxy was not even at the Chaos Realm. Has he suddenly returned to the peak of the Chaos Realm in just 1,000 years? See Fire. Net website on Google to access chapters of novels early and in the highest quality. I once descended a consciousness remotely and vaguely felt that the existence swallowing Chaos Chi seemed familiar. It happened in the nearby void domain. Ancient Ming Venerable said. The number of powerhouses at the peak of the Chaos Realm is rare, often only 1 or 2 in a void domain, and spectacle life forms at the Chaos Realm are even rarer. Ancient Ming Venerable doubted it was such a coincidence that a Chaos Realm peak powerhouse happened to be swallowing Chaos Chi nearby. Moreover, this Chaos Realm peak gave him a sense of familiarity. Thinking about it carefully, it's very possible indeed. The young man in the black robe pondered for a moment and started to agree internally. Although it seems unbelievable to reach the peak of the Chaos Realm in just over 1,000 years, for a power at the level of a great saint, one cannot simply reason rationally. The so-called logic and common sense are meant to be broken by the reincarnation of a great saint. Moreover, in his eyes, Galaxy is definitely not a simple chaos great saint, likely an unparalleled great saint above ordinary great saints. They say a great saint reincarnated cultivates at an unbelievable speed, but now it seems it's more than that. Ancient Ming Venerable sighed from the heart. He didn't know how much effort and chance it took him to cultivate to the chaos realm. Even so, he is still some distance from the peak of the chaos realm. The time required to cross this distance, even without encountering any bottleneck, would be calculated in cosmic eras. What do we do now? The young man in the black robe thought for a moment and asked. If we didn't know it would be fine, but now that we know, should we go pay our respects? Ancient Ming Venerable cautiously suggested. In the chaos void, no matter which void domain, ascending to the chaos realm from the peak of the dominator realm is an event that requires grand celebrations and is a good occasion to connect with other venerables. Lin Yuan has quietly recovered to the chaos realm strength. Although outsiders are unaware, Ancient Ming Venerable felt he should express something. Previously, with this galaxy being a great saint reincarnated, Ancient Ming Venerable dared not visit for fear of arousing suspicion. After all, given his strength, he could possibly pose a threat to the reincarnation of a great saint. Even if he had no such intention, he had to consider whether the other party thought so. Now, however, he no longer has this concern. Lin Yuan's strength at the Chaos Realm peak, combined with the methods of a great saint, poses no threat to the Ancient Ming Venerable. Let's go pay our respects now. Ancient Ming Venerable had made up his mind, feeling a sense of urgency. Star Tears Fragment World. Lin Yuan was in the process of constructing an internal universe, which is part of cultivating the second level of Infinite Void. The Infinite Void, heritage, impacts the internal universe on a microcosmic level, adjusting the basic structure of the internal universe to make it more stable and perfect. Marvelous! To think that changing the structure could increase the stability of the internal universe by 60%? And replacing this part of the structure can make the rules and paths within the internal universe run much more smoothly. Lin Yuan immersed himself in the cultivation of Infinite Void. With the foundation of the first level, he efficiently progressed to the second level. The founder of this heritage, worthy of being a 13th order time being, Lin Yuan was amazed. As his understanding deepened, he appreciated the greatness of the founder. In the source world, Lin Yuan could occasionally glimpse the ancestor of Fierce Sun, a 13th order being. But he had only seen it from afar, without coming into contact with the other's Tao and methods. The cultivators in the source world leaned more toward bloodlines. The Fierce Sun God-nurturing method, passed down by the ancestor, essentially condenses the seed of the Fierce Sun to inherit the ancestral abilities. Mastering the second level of Infinite Void, I can suppress Chaos Realm Peak Venerables purely by relying on my internal universe. Lin Yuan contemplated. As Lin Yuan delved deeper into his cultivation, Ancient Ming Venerable wants to pay his respects to me? Lin Yuan raised his eyebrow. The Xianyuan Supreme had just sent him a message saying that Ancient Ming Venerable wished to visit. It seems he's noticed something. Lin Yuan thought casually. During his breakthrough to the Dominator realm, his voracious devouring of infinite chaos chi attracted the attention of many venerables. At that time, with a cursory glance, Lin Yuan noticed that among those venerables was Ancient Ming Venerable. The other venerables had never interacted with Lin Yuan, hence were clueless about the occasion of the Chaos Chi Devourer, only understanding not to provoke it. But Ancient Ming Venerable, having interacted with Lin Yuan, a faint causal link between them made it possible for him to detect something given that Lin Yuan, now at the Dominator realm, couldn't fully mask his aura. Let him come in. Lin Yuan did not refuse. Having stepped into the Dominator realm, his strength rivaling the Chaos Realm peak, he confidently overlooked the prospect of facing a great saint. He surely wouldn't shy away from meeting Ancient Ming Venerable. Additionally, Lin Yuan was quite curious as to why Ancient Ming Venerable sought his favor so frequently. If you find any errors, ads pop up, ads redirect, broken links, non-standard content, etc., please Please let us know reports so we can fix it as soon as possible. Chapter 1098, The Seventh Physical Body Divine Ability, Seeking Subscription, _2 Whether it was initially acquiring this star fragment world or trading with the master of Wanxiu, Lin Yuan gained considerable advantages, undoubtedly due to ancient Ming venerables' covert nods. Outside the star fragment world, the Xianyuan Supreme and several other Supremes were quite at a loss. Just now, the ruler of Chaos Continent, Chaos Venerable Ancient Ming, personally came, seeking to pay respects to Lin Yuan. Pay respects? To Lin Yuan? The term pay respects is generally used by those of lower status seeking an audience with someone of higher status, or at least someone of equal stature. But Ancient Ming Venerable? Even though the Xianyuan Supreme and a few other Supremes had prior knowledge of Lin Yuan's power being tantamount to the Chaos Realm, they merely viewed him as a newly ascended figure in the Chaos Realm. Yet Ancient Ming Venerable is an experienced Chaos Realm figure. Given his status, even if he wished to meet Lin Yuan, would it truly be in such a manner of paying respects? Therefore, the Xianyuan Supreme, Xiaqin Supreme, and other Supremes were somewhat anxious. Strictly speaking, the human civilization currently resides in the Star Fragment world, which is a part of the ancient Ming Chaos Continent, encompassing the entire human civilization, including their 9 Supremes. All must depend on the goodwill of Ancient Ming Venerable. Quickly, the Xianyuan Supreme received Lin Yuan's response. The galaxy allows you to enter. The Xianyuan Supreme suppressed his inner shock and cautiously spoke to Ancient Ming Venerable. All right. Ancient Ming Venerable nodded, without any discomfort. Upon entering the Star Fragment world, Ancient Ming Venerable arrived at the Grand Hall designed to receive guests of human civilization. Sur the Navire. Net website on Google to access chapters of novels early and in the highest quality. Buzz. A figure materialized. It was Lin Yuan. At this moment, only Lin Yuan and Ancient Ming Venerable remained in the hall. As for the Xianyuan Supreme, he had long since retreated. Though the Xianyuan Supreme couldn't comprehend why Ancient Ming Venerable acted this way, he knew full well that a Venerable coming in person must have important matters to discuss with Lin Yuan. Greetings, Senior. Ancient Ming Venerable immediately bowed slightly towards Lin Yuan. It is extremely difficult for a Chaos Great Saint to completely kill a Chaos Venerable, but no Chaos Venerable would act presumptuously before a Great Saint with this in mind. Under normal circumstances, a Venerable facing a Great Saint must show enough reverence. Unless the two are in a life-and-death conflict, with hatred that cannot be resolved, only then would a Chaos Venerable dare to disregard norms. But such situations are rare. And now, in Ancient Ming Venerable's eyes, Lin Yuan is a great saint. With no grievances between them, Ancient Ming Venerable, wishing to befriend Lin Yuan, certainly dared not overstep. Senior. Lin Yuan's expression remained unchanged, immediately realizing that Ancient Ming Venerable might have misunderstood something. Does he think him the reincarnation of a great saint? Lin Yuan pondered rapidly, realizing what Ancient Ming Venerable likely thought. The matter of a great saint's reincarnation has been mentioned both by the profound Shenhuang line and the Magic Jade Tower. Before his hometown universe faced great destruction, Lin Yuan learned from the mouths of 2 ultimate members of the robber clan that they believed him to be a reincarnation of a great saint. However, the robber clan attributed this belief to his terrifying growth trajectory within the universe. Lin Yuan ascended from an evolver to dominate the universe in just a few millennia. But why would Ancient Ming Venerable also assume him to be the reincarnation of a great saint? How did you recognize me? Lin Yuan asked casually. Upon hearing this, Ancient Ming Venerable immediately responded, Senior, I have a partner, a marvelous life form. With flowing, Ancient Ming Venerable thoroughly explained the matter of the Chaos Dragon Beast's premonition. I see. Lin Yuan felt enlightened, meanwhile raising his view even more towards those marvelous life forms with flowing time bloodlines. This ability to foresee simply defies logic. The Moyu Tower Master, along with several others of the peerless great saints, paid a heavy price to hunt a great saint-level, time bloodline-rich marvelous life form, Lin Yuan deeply appreciated the high stakes involved in such a hunt. At the Chaos Great Saint level, marvelous life forms in terms of combat power might compare to peerless Great Saints, but hunting them? It's infinitely harder than killing a peerless Great Saint. Given their ability to foresee and anticipate, how could one possibly kill them? I came to pay respects to the senior because I'm here to congratulate the senior on restoring to the Chaos realm. Ancient Ming Venerable immediately voiced his purpose, simultaneously flipping his hand to produce a jade bottle. This is a congratulatory gift. Given it's a congratulatory visit, Ancient Ming Venerable naturally wouldn't come empty-handed, surely needing to offer a gift as a sign of sincerity. Especially now, with no other venerables knowing Lin Yuan's true identity apart from him, Ancient Ming Venerable understood even better the need to seize this opportunity. Befriending a great saint reincarnation before they regain peak strength, awaiting this great saint's return to the great saint realm, even if one asks for nothing in return. Once word spreads, would other Chaos Venerables dare to provoke him? Lin Yuan accepted the jade bottle, not showing any humility. Now, having just stepped into the Dominator realm, all accumulated resources have been entirely consumed. How could he possibly refuse the offered resources? In a while, I'll reveal myself with Chaos Realm combat power, announce becoming a venerable, then can smoothly host a celebration, gather gifts. Lin Yuan thought to himself, this is also the fastest way to amass wealth, far quicker than plundering. At the celebration of a newly ascended venerable, surrounding forces in the void domain would likely participate, and participation surely entails congratulatory gifts. This was something Lin Yuan did many times in his hometown universe, each time ending with great profits. Senior, now that you have restored your Chaos Realm strength, are you planning to establish a Chaos continent? Ancient Ming Venerable tentatively inquired. If you find any errors, ads pop up, ads redirect, broken links, non-standard content, etc., please let us know reports so we can fix it as soon as possible. Chapter 1099 The Seventh Physical Body Divine Ability. Request subscription. _3 The Star Tier's fragmented world is inhabited by human civilization groups, something the Ancient Ming Venerable is aware of. For human civilization to develop, it must engage in external exchanges and trade. Open the Chaos Continent? Lin Yuan pondered for a while and shook his head, saying, it's not urgent for now. Opening the Chaos Continent could form a trade center in the nearby regions, allowing for shop slots to be sold and fees to be collected, essentially earning money effortlessly. But such matters would not be immediately effective in the short term. Moreover, establishing a Chaos Continent initially requires a vast investment. Lin Yuan currently plans to focus all his energy on enhancing his strength. It's not too late to consider opening the Chaos Continent once his strength hits a bottleneck or barrier. As it currently stands, the Star Tier's fragmented world is sufficient to sustain human civilization for a long time, eliminating the need to specifically open a Chaos Continent. After a brief conversation with Lin Yuan, primarily consisting of Lin Yuan asking questions and the Ancient Ming Venerable answering, the Ancient Ming Venerable tactfully took his leave. Once the Ancient Ming Venerable departed, Lin Yuan took out the congratulatory gift given by the Ancient Ming Venerable. Lin Yuan divided a portion of his consciousness to inspect it. It's quite considerate. After a general inspection, a small smile appeared on Lin Yuan's face. The jade bottle gifted by the Ancient Ming Venerable was filled with a wealth of resources. To the Ancient Ming Venerable, Lin Yuan was a reincarnation of the Great Saint. The road ahead mainly involved energy accumulation, so these resources were primarily focused on that aspect. It's understood that the most precious resources in the Chaos Void are those instrumental in breaking through bottlenecks. The Ancient Ming Venerable foresaw that Lin Yuan would primarily need accumulated energy. And indeed that's the case. With Lin Yuan's against heaven's understanding, no variety of bottlenecks during cultivation would hinder him for long. Conversely, the accumulation of energy lagged far behind his progress rate. All the resources, treasures, and rarities combined are worth about 90 million to 100 million chaos stones. Lin Yuan roughly estimated the value, feeling quite satisfied. So many resources and treasures would be enough for his cultivation for a long time, at least until he achieved the second layer of infinite void, without any issue. Ancient Ming Venerable. Several of the ancient Ming Venerable's past actions flashed in Lin Yuan's mind. It was apparent that the ancient Ming Venerable was genuinely trying to befriend him. While such behavior was clearly motivated, Lin Yuan didn't mind as the other party had genuinely provided him a lot of assistance. If there is an opportunity in the future, Lin Yuan wouldn't mind reciprocating. The reincarnation of the great saint. A flash of a peculiar expression appeared on Lin Yuan's face. Whether it was the robber clan within the home universe or the ancient Ming Venerable, the more they knew and saw, the more convinced they became that Lin Yuan was indeed a reincarnation of a great saint. After all, if it wasn't for being a great saint, who else could have cultivated from the 1st to the 12th tier in a few thousand years? Who could have shattered the suppressive will of the origin within the universe, unleashing power beyond the peak of the path-splitting realm? And who else, just 1,000 years into the chaos void, could possess the peak power of the chaos realm? These actions cannot be explained by ordinary reasons, even for those extraordinary life forms with against-heaven talents. It's impossible to achieve. Such marvelous beings have time bloodlines flowing within them, but they also need time to process and will encounter bottlenecks. In fact, not just marvelous beings, even the royal families of the ancient countries in the source world, pure speed of cultivation-wise, were far inferior to Lin Yuan. But I am not a reincarnation of the great saint, Lin Yuan slightly shook his head. Outsiders believed him to be a reincarnated great saint, but only Lin Yuan knew that he was just a normal life form nurtured from within the universe. Outside the star tier's fragmented world, several human supremes, including Xianyuan Supreme, watched as the ancient Ming Venerable left. The ancient Ming Venerable, such a class of supreme warrior, came to visit the galaxy? Hasn't the galaxy just crossed into the Dominator realm? Indeed, even if equivalent to the Chaos realm, the ancient Ming Venerable is a well-established venerable. The supreme warriors like Xiaqin Supreme whispered among themselves, all rather incredulous. Search * the Nefire. Et website on Google to access chapters of novels early and in the highest quality. Just now, when the ancient Ming Venerable came to visit Lin Yuan, they were all taken aback. Most beings in the path-splitting realm wouldn't even qualify to meet a Chaos Venerable. Source World. Lin Yuan sat cross-legged. Dominator Realm. The Lin Yuan in the Source World advanced into the Dominator Realm even before his true self in the Chaos Void. The true self in the Chaos Void had advanced smoothly into the Dominator Realm through the body in the Source World, ensuring no unexpected deviations before attempting the Dominator Realm. This body hasn't undergone 3 Chaos Void origin infusions, lacks a Chaos Tree suppression, so the foundation of the cosmos within is surely inferior to the true self. Lin Yuan examined himself. However, in terms of actual combat power, there's not much difference. Lin Yuan thought to himself. Compared to the Chaos Void, the greatest advantage Lin Yuan had in this source world was the fierce Sun Divine body. This physique's boost to combat strength and other aspects is truly terrifying. As Lin Yuan continued to comprehend the fierce Sun body, while incidentally attempting to condense the 33,333rd seed within the fierce Sun suddenly, his expression shifted slightly as a tremor arose from the depths of his bloodline. What is this? Lin Yuan immediately began to feel the depths of his bloodline, which had relentlessly refined and intertwined through the martial arts evolution road for 1,000 years, faintly forming an exceedingly complex and mysterious imprint, which finally completely took shape at that moment. Physical body divine ability is about to awaken. Lin Yuan's eyes shone with excitement. This physical body divine ability was his 7th such divine ability and also the one that took the longest to form, consuming over 1,000 years from start to finish. Lin Yuan had high expectations for this physical body divine ability. The power from the depths of his bloodline continuously converged towards that complex and mystical imprint at one moment, filling it to perfection. In an instant, That incomparably complex and mysterious divine skill imprint seemed to have completely come to life. If you find any errors, ads pop up, ads redirect, broken links, non-standard content, etc., please let us know reports so we can fix it as soon as possible. Chapter 1100. Fierce Sun Splits the Sky, Seeking Subscription. At the deepest point of the bloodline, a complete divine skill imprint fully formed. Enshrouded in mist, dazzling and intertwined, Lin Yuan carefully observed and felt. In a daze, he found himself in a world plunged into endless darkness. There was not the slightest bit of light here, filled with coldness and lifeless silence. At this moment, somewhere in the world, a flame suddenly ignited. The appearance of the flame broke the eternal silence. For the first time, this world had the concept of light, had the concept of heat. The flame burned, and light and heat spread. A brand new world was opened up. Finally, the flame transformed into a fierce sun, eternally hanging above the sky. Wherever the firelight shone, it was all within the dominion. Lin Yuan quietly sat cross-legged, but his heart was unable to remain calm for a long time. Even if he stopped contemplating that divine skill mark, scenes he had just seen couldn't help but float in his mind. Who could have thought that this time the physical body divine ability he awakened had such distant implications? On the surface it merely looked like a scene of a fierce sun emerging in endless darkness. But in reality, as this fierce sun's light covered and spread, a complete world was opened up. Opening up a world? For the current Lin Yuan, it wasn't a difficult task, but the world opened up by the fierce sun was so high level that it might be modeled after this source world where Lin Yuan resides. Opening the source world? How vast the source world is, more mysterious than the chaos void. Wanting to open such a world is something nearly impossible to accomplish. 13-level time life, truly terrifying. Lin Yuan gathered his thoughts, marveling inwardly. The creator of the infinite void, that 13-level time life, wanted to use this foundational legacy to nurture an inner universe comparable to the chaos void. And this time, the physical body divine ability Lin Yuan awakened originates from the ancestor of Fierce Sun, a 13-level time life, with the ultimate goal of opening up such a vast world as a source world. 13-level time life has basically occupied a dimensional space. Their perspective is not on the dimension they are in, but desires to explore and occupy more dimensions. Lin Yuan thought to himself, dimension is a broad concept. The scope it encompasses surpasses the chaos void or the source world. Both the chaos void and the source world are parts of a certain dimensional space. The current me is too far from a 13-level time life. Lin Yuan gently shook his head. The 12th level and the 13th level, though seemingly only one level apart, are actually the distinction between a figure in a painting and someone outside of it. This physical body divine ability. Lin Yuan continued to observe that divine skill mark, pondering for a moment. Let's call it fierce sun opening the sky. In fact, whether it is the first type of physical body divine ability, or the current 7th type, they have no specific names. It is Lin Yuan who names them based on the effects and functions of the divine skill. The 7th type of physical body divine ability, in essence, is a fierce sun hanging high, where the firelight shines, is the dominion, that is, the world opened by the fierce sun. So Lin Yuan named it Fierce Sun Opening the Sky. Fierce Sunday. Lin Yuan's thoughts shifted slightly, and a flame coalesced in front of him. This flame faintly emitted an inexplicable aura, as the surrounding space-time transformed rapidly and assimilated in its reflection. If Lin Yuan infused energy into this flame continuously at this moment, sustaining its burn and spread, it would theoretically evolve into a second eternal fierce Sunday illuminating the vast ancient country. Of course, it's just theoretical. Firstly, Lin Yuan doesn't have that much energy to sustain it. Secondly, even if he did, allowing this flame to evolve would ultimately alarm that real eternal fierce sun above the sky. Opening the sky? Lin Yuan examined the slowly burning flame. With my current realm and strength, opening a world like the source world is impossible. but now with the help of the awakened physical body divine ability, have I indirectly achieved it? Opening up heaven and earth requires using one's own rules and avenues to replace the rules and avenues of heaven and earth. Whether it is the rules and avenues of chaos void or those of the source world, it's an endless vastness. Just relying on Lin Yuan's comprehended rules and avenues to open up such heaven and earth would be no different than a fool's dream. This is divine skill, Lin Yuan remarked with emotion, not yet mastered, not yet comprehended, but able to be used, able to be displayed. To put it simply, it's similar to Lin Yuan at the first level, performing moves that required the comprehension of complete space rules to execute. Of course, such forcibly executed moves are extremely mechanical compared to those truly comprehended space rules entities and won't adapt. Just the same move over and over. But without a doubt, it certainly can crush same-level strong opponents. With my current strength, fully activating this divine skill could likely maintain about 3 seconds of Fierce Sunday. Lin Yuan thought. But within these 3 seconds, a Great Lord-level expert absolutely can't withstand it. Even one at the peak would die, and perhaps a heavenly venerate could survive. The divine skill Fierce Sun opening the sky is evidently equivalent to a 13-level secret technique. However, limited by Lin Yuan's strength foundation, he is unable to unleash the full power of this secret technique. Even so, it can allow a Dominator-level lifeform to kill a peak Great Lord lifeform. From Dominator to Great Lord, it is a difference akin to heaven and earth. Even the core royals of various ancient countries can at most challenge a Great Lord at a Dominator level. As for killing a Great Lord, let alone a peak Great Lord, Sir the Novelandvar. At website on Google to access chapters of novels early and in the highest quality. Even Lin Yuan, with countless foundations, only dared, after reaching the extreme at the Dominator level and refining various methods like the Infinite Void to its utmost extent, to feel confident he had the strength to kill a peak Great Lord. If you find any errors, ads pop up, ads redirect, broken links, non-standard content, etc., please let us know reports so we can fix it as soon as possible. Chapter 11:01 Fierce Sun Splits the Sky, Seeking Subscription, _2 and now, Lin Yuan's actual combat strength is only close to the peak of a Great Lord. With the might of this physical body divine ability, once I step into the Chaos Realm, there will be basically no Great Lord or Heavenly Venerate who can be my opponent. Lin Yuan thought to himself. If he were in the Chaos Void, even someone as strong as a great saint would be swept away by Lin Yuan. The Great Lord of this source world is equivalent to a venerate in the Chaos Void, while a heavenly venerate is equivalent to a great saint. However, this divine skill is not without its shortcomings. It consumes too much. Lin Yuan finds it difficult to control it perfectly. In a one-on-one or one-on-many situation, Lin Yuan naturally has nothing to fear, but if they attack one after another, striking during the interval when Lin Yuan activates this divine skill, Lin Yuan feels a bit of a headache. No matter what, this divine skill is definitely the strongest trump card I currently possess. Even the skill known for its pure killing power, Tear Heaven, is no match. Lin Yuan was radiant with confidence. The divine skill Tear Heaven only has that one tear, while Sunshine Opening can last for a period of time, equivalent to a greatly enhanced version of the divine ability world. Of course, the mysteries involved in the divine skill Sunshine Opening far surpass those of the skill world. So far, Lin Yuan's thoughts have been focused on the might of Sunshine Opening, but in fact, this skill leans more toward creation and formation. As for destruction, that's just one aspect of it. Name, Yu Yen Lin Yuan. Identity, Master of the Myriad Realms Gate, Bonded Talent, Heaven-Defying Comprehension, Divine Power, Blood Resurrection, Divine Power, Mountain Moving, Divine Power, Strengthening, Divine Power, Elemental Body, Divine Power, World, Divine Power, Tear Heaven, Divine Power, Sunshine Opening, Current State, Consciousness Arrival, Remaining Stay Time, None. Lin Yuan glanced at the timely update of the 7th divine skill in the lower left corner of his vision. The urgent task now is to comprehend this divine skill imprint. Lin Yuan calmed his mind. Only by understanding this divine skill imprint can he bring it back to the chaos void for use among the various true body primordial spirit avatars. Of course, the comprehension here does not refer to understanding the essence of sunshine opening. That is too difficult for Lin Yuan to achieve. It simply means understanding the imprint of this divine skill. It's like a high-tech product, where you only need to perfectly replicate each component to be able to reassemble it. As for the function and effect of each component, it can be studied slowly later. Before understanding it, I must not die. Lin Yuan thought to himself silently. The current physical body is the carrier of the divine skill sunshine opening. If he dies, the divine skill imprint will dissipate, and before comprehending it, it means he has completely lost this skill. This is a price Lin Yuan cannot accept. As for choosing to travel again, there are no two identical lives. If he chooses to travel again, Lin Yuan is not sure if he can continue to awaken the divine skill sunshine opening. Moreover, choosing to travel again means Lin Yuan has to start all over again. The time and effort previously spent would be wasted. But with my current strength, as long as I am cautious, it should be very difficult to die. Lin Yuan thought confidently to himself. For over 1,000 years, most of his true body has been in seclusion for cultivation, but the two major primordial spirit avatars have essentially roamed through various large domains nearby, setting up life-saving measures. Unless the ancestors of the various ancient countries, those 13th-tier time beings make a personal move, wanting to completely kill Lin Yuan is almost impossible. Fierce Sun Ancient Country, Red Pine Domain. This large domain is the fiefdom of the royal spirit Might King, and the spirit Might King is the Infeft King responsible for resisting Red Pine King's spirit Might King on this side of the fierce Sun Ancient Country. Similar to the spirit Might King, the Red Pine King's Infeft kingship comes from his royal identity, with strength equivalent to the peak of a great lord. Search * the novel of Ire. At website on Google to access chapters of novels early and in the highest quality. However, unlike the spirit Might King, the Red Pine King is not very ambitious and has no intention of becoming the emperor of an ancient country. In the royal city, an avatar of Lord Qingfen is standing before a man with a lazy expression. Your Highness, I worry that the spirit Might King might seek help from his brother. Lord Qingfen voiced his concerns. The spirit Might King's brother is a great lord with a bloodline concentration meeting the core royal requirements. Once such an entity joins the battlefield, who could withstand it on the fierce Sun Ancient Country's side? The core royalty at the level of a great lord can, with its powerful ancestral bloodline, practically sweep through others of the same level, and at the peak of great lord, even wrestle with a heavenly venerate. And unlike a normal heavenly venerate, the core royalty is ultimately at the level of a great lord, so even if they take action, it won't dramatically escalate the war's intensity. That spirit Might King, to become emperor, might indeed do such a thing. Red Pine King said, his expression lazy but his tone grew slightly solemn. If Lord Qingfen's post is breached, the Infeft King responsible for commanding the war would certainly bear responsibility as well. Leave this matter to me, Red Pine King said as he looked at Lord Qingfen. Yes. Lord Qingfen breathed a slight sigh of relief. With Red Pine King's intervention, there is a high probability that they can invite a great lord-level core royal to counter the spirit Might King's brother. Let me think. With a thought, Red Pine King instantly gathered an avatar in the distant capital. As a royal of an ancient country, usually needing to stay stationed in the fiefdom, he can also return to the capital at any time. Red Pine King soon arrived at a sprawling mansion. Sixth brother. Red Pine King waited outside. His sixth brother is a core royal who usually busies himself with comprehending the ancestral bloodline and rarely involves himself in other matters. If you find any errors, ads pop up, ads redirect, broken links, non-standard content, etc., please let us know reports so we can fix it as soon as possible. Chapter 1102, Fierce sun splits the sky, seeking subscription. _3 The core royal family, with their ancestral bloodline nearly reaching its pinnacle, have little interest in the throne, as becoming emperor offers limited advantages in enhancing their power. Becoming emperor certainly bestows numerous powers, yet it also comes with the burden of many trivial matters. Swoosh! The grand doors of the residence were opened. An elderly servant figure emerged, bowing towards the Red Pine King and said, "Your Highness, please come inside." The Red Pine King entered at once, and in a pavilion within the cavernous estate, he met his sixth elder brother. The sixth elder brother of the Red Pine King was a tall man, currently sitting cross-legged, with an aura faintly circulating from within. "Sixth brother, I feel you have grown stronger again. Could it be that you're about to break the Heavenly Venerate barrier and enter the Heavenly Venerate realm?" The Red Pine King immediately flattered. He came this time to ask a favor from his sixth brother, naturally choosing his words carefully. _Net website on Google to access chapters of novels early and in the highest quality. Heavenly Venerate? The tall man shook his head. For us royals, our success and failure lie with our bloodline, making it almost impossible to ascend to the level of a Heavenly Venerate. Of course, those in the core royal family who have truly cultivated to the peak of the Great Lord realm do not fear Heavenly Venerate level powers. In fact, the abundant resources of the ancient country cause great dread in these Heavenly Venerates. "So, tell me, why have you come to find me?" The tall man looked at the Red Pine King, understanding that his brother would never say such things unless he needed something. "Sixth brother, as you know, I get quite bored staying in the capital, so I sought the title of a prince. Initially, I enjoyed some leisure outside, but that spirit might king, in his ambition to become emperor, plans to invade my ancient country's lands." The Red Pine King continued, "Coincidentally, my fief is nearby and thus I automatically became the ruler responsible for resisting Spirit Might King's invasion. If it were just Spirit Might King, I wouldn't fear him, but his brother." The Red Pine King trailed off, looking pitifully at the tall man. "Sixth brother, I'm no match for him, I see." The tall man nodded. "You want me to help you then?" "Yes." The Red Pine King nodded immediately. "You're the only one I can ask for help. As for the others, even if they are willing to help, they would surely extort me heavily." Given the pretense of defending against the invasion of a hostile ancient country, the Red Pine King could easily seek assistance and request a core royal great lord's aid without much difficulty. However, assistance comes at a price, as core royal great lords always require compensation. This is an unwritten rule within the ancient country. Since you've put it this way, it'll help you when the time comes. The tall man sighed, speaking with a great sense of helplessness, "But I will only intervene if Spirit Might King's brother makes a move, otherwise I won't." Of course. Without his brother's support, who is Spirit Might King anyway? The Red Pine King immediately added. In Qingfen City, Lin Yuan's true body sat in the sky-burning court, immersed in cultivation and understanding, while outside, he left an incarnation to facilitate exchanges with other great lords. Each great lord had evolved their own power paths from chaos, providing Lin Yuan with significant insights. Under normal circumstances, each great lord would be stationed in their territories, and even if Lin Yuan wanted to communicate with them, he wouldn't have the opportunity. But now, with the impending invasion of the Purple Dream domain, nearly 20 great lords had gathered in Qingfen City, giving Lin Yuan the chance to interact and discuss with them anytime. In fact, it wasn't just Lin Yuan communicating and discussing with the great lords. It was the great lords engaging in exchanges and sparring among themselves, while Lin Yuan observed and listened quietly. Swoosh! Two streams of chaos flame constantly clashed. One exhibited two colors, scarlet and cyan, and the other exuded a sharp aura. It was like a chaotic fire axe cleaving everything apart. The next moment, the sharp ore-laden chaos flame retreated. Brother Hongye's path of combining chaos flame with chaos life seems quite close to achieving Heavenly Venerate status. Fire Axe Great Venerable remarked to Great Venerate Hongye with slight admiration. He was also a peak Great Lord, focusing on annihilation through chaos flame, wielding it like a giant axe to obliterate everything. Undoubtedly, Fire Axe Great Venerable excelled in destructive killing techniques among peak Great Lords. However, during the recent sparring with Great Venerate Hongye, he found himself in a difficult position due to Hongye's dual approach using Chaos Flame and Chaos Life. Eventually, he had to admit defeat. Haha, brother Fire Axe, don't jest with me. Heavenly Venerate? I still can't see the path to Heavenly Venerate. Great Venerate Hongye shook his head and said, besides, we were only sparring, unable to employ our true lethal techniques, which isn't fair for you, brother Fire Axe. After Hongye finished speaking, Fire Axe Great Venerable's expression visibly improved. I couldn't employ deadly techniques, but neither did you, brother Hongye. A loss is a loss. Fire Axe Great Venerable stated openly. The other present Great Lords occasionally sparred and exchanged as well. However, most focused their attention on Great Venerate Hongye and Fire Axe Great Venerable. After all, these two were both at the peak of Great Lords. Lin Yuan sat in a corner, quietly observing the clashes among the numerous Great Lords. Your comprehension is exceptional. Witnessing the fluctuations of Chaos Flame enhances your understanding of the Chaos Flame path. Most Great Lords on the battleground followed the path of Chaos Flame. Occasionally, other paths flashed, but Lin Yuan focused mainly on understanding the Chaos Flame path. At this moment, Great Venerate Hongye, who just finished sparring with Fire Axe Great Venerable, suddenly turned his gaze to Lin Yuan. Yu Yen. Great Venerate Hongye's tone was gentle. The other Great Lords also looked over. Great Venerate Hongye. Lin Yuan responded immediately. It's been some time since you crossed into the Great Lord realm. Have you thought of your title yet? Great Venerate Hongye asked with interest. Generally speaking, a Great Lord would choose a title for themselves. For instance, Great Venerate Hongye's real name was certainly not Hongye. It was the same for Great Venerable Qingfen. A title, Lin Yuan thought for a moment, then finally said, let's go with Galaxy. If you find any errors, ads pop up, ads redirect, broken links, non-standard content, etc., please let us know reports so we can fix it as soon as possible. Chapter 1103, Not a Big Problem, Seeking Subscription, Galaxy? The numerous Great Venerables on the scene glanced at each other. The title of Great Venerable always carries a specific meaning. Red Leaf of the Great Venerate Hongye implies the coexistence of Chaos Flame and Chaos Life. The Qingfen of the Great Venerable Qingfen also, to some extent, reveals the path he has taken. But as for Galaxy? Galaxy Great Venerable? A smile appeared on the face of the Great Venerate Hongye. He did not ask Lin Yuan why he chose this title. Every Great Venerable has their own secrets. Since Lin Yuan wishes to use Galaxy as his title, he would not inquire further. Yes. Lin Yuan nodded. Using Galaxy as his title mainly commemorates his life on Earth before crossing worlds. The true form in the Chaos Void, Galaxy Master, Galaxy Supreme, and other names are for the same reason. As for whether using the title of Galaxy Great Venerable would expose his true identity, the Chaos Void and this source world are not even on the same dimensional plane, and crossing different dimensions is difficult, even for a 13th layer time life. Moreover, even if one could cross, the words Galaxy are much too common. I believe the name Galaxy Great Venerable will surely resound throughout the nearby ancient country domains in the future. Great Venerate Hongye said with a smile. The other Great Venerables were slightly taken aback upon hearing these words. They could hear that Great Venerate Hongye held Lin Yuan in high regard. To echo across nearby ancient country domains? That requires at least the pinnacle strength of a Great Venerable. And the pinnacle of Great Venerable? Not every Great Venerable can reach the pinnacle stage. To many Great Venerables, Lin Yuan was just a newly ascended Great Venerable. Time passed. In the blink of an eye, a few months went by. With the exchange and spread among nearly 20 Great Venerables, Lin Yuan's name as Galaxy Great Venerable began to spread. The circles among Great Venerables have their interconnections, And through this war, Lin Yuan managed to make a name for himself. And with the favor of Great Venerate Hongye and Lord Qingfen, many great venerables were especially supportive of Lin Yuan. Lin Yuan was not very concerned about this. Even without considering the divine skill Fierce Sun Opens the Sky, his true combat power was estimated to be close to the peak of a great venerable like Hongye. Moreover, as time passed, Lin Yuan's combat strength was improving almost every moment. Yet Lin Yuan had no intention of revealing his full abilities. Before fully comprehending the divine skill imprint of Fierce Sun Opens the Sky, it was best to remain low-key and cautious. Inside the city lord's mansion, Lord Qingfen appeared solemn, and all great venerables, including Lin Yuan, gathered here. I suppose Marquis Purple Dream over there is preparing to launch an attack, Lord Qingfen remarked. He kept a constant watch on the border battlefield, faintly perceiving the movements of many war machines on the side of the Purple Dream domain. It was bound to happen sooner or later. Let's see who can break through. The great venerables were not surprised. With Purple Dream domain amassing troops at the border, launching an attack at this moment was too normal. This group of great venerables gathered here was precisely for this day. Hongye, Fire Axe, your strengths are the greatest. By that time, Great Honored Barbarian Moon and Divine Phoenix Great Honored will be entrusted to you both. Lord Qingfen looked towards Great Venerate Hongye and Fire Axe Great Venerable. These two great venerables were friends of Lord Qingfen, invited to help resist the invasion from Purple Dream. Rest assured. Great Venerate Hongye and Fire Axe Great Venerable nodded. Great Honored Barbarian Moon and Divine Phoenix Great Honored are top-tier great venerables from the Purple Dream domain, terrifying in strength. On the scene, only Great Venerate Hongye, Fire Axe Great Venerable, and Lord Qingfen could confidently defend against them. However, Lord Qingfen needs to coordinate at the center and would not join the battlefield unless absolutely necessary, thus relying on Hongye and Fire Axe. And everyone, do your best to fend off the opponents. If anything unexpected happens or any uncertain factors arise, inform me immediately. Lord Qingfen addressed the other great venerables. For 1,000 years, all the great venerables had repeatedly simulated potential scenarios of the war and identified who they should confront. Galaxy, your opponent is Thunder Spear Great Honored. Do you have confidence? Lord Qingfen looked towards Lin Yuan, asking seriously. Thunder Spear Great Honored, also a newly ascended Great Venerable, crossed into the realm 20,000 years ago. For a Great Venerable, 20,000 years is not long, so Thunder Spear Great Honored is still considered a new Great Venerable. Lord Qingfen specially assigned one of the weakest opposing Great Venerables for Lin Yuan to deal with. After all, only Lord Qingfen knew that Lin Yuan had not truly crossed into the Great Venerable realm. I have confidence. Lin Yuan nodded. That's good. Lord Qingfen was quite assured in Lin Yuan, as in his eyes, Lin Yuan possessed core royal blood, so even as a mere overlord he could challenge a great venerable to some extent. Furthermore, Lord Qingfen would constantly watch over Lin Yuan, ready to assist immediately if anything unexpected happened. This war must be won. Lord Qingfen looked at all the great venerables, solemnly stating, after the victory, Qingfen will have a great reward. Once the Qingfen domain fell, the greatest responsibility would certainly lie with Red Pine King. But the greatest loss would naturally be on Lord Qingfen. After all, the Qingfen domain was his fief, and its fall would mean the collapse of Lord Qingfen's years of accumulation in an instant. It is precisely because of this that during the war preparations, Lord Qingfen made every effort to leverage his connections and invited peak Great Venerables like Great Venerate Hongye and Fire Axe Great Venerable to assist. In fact, Red Pine King also mobilized many great venerable level powerhouses for support. Chaos Void. Lin Yuan sat cross-legged. A consciousness avatar descended into the inner universe. Buzz buzz buzz. Almost every moment, the inner universe underwent transformation, as the second layer of infinite void slowly reformed the inner universe. During the path-splitting realm, Lin Yuan's inner universe spanned only tens of millions of light years, while Chaos Venerables had an inner universe of hundreds of billions of light-years. In terms of sheer size, the difference between the two was immeasurable. Yet in volume, they were almost equivalent, thanks to the empowerment and transformation by Infinite Void on the inner universe. In fact, while cultivating Infinite Void, Lin Yuan's inner universe was constantly shrinking. However, the rate of shrinkage was less than the rate of expansion, so overall, the inner universe still exhibited an expansion trend. Now, the diameter of Lin Yuan's inner universe exceeded tens of billions of light-years, and the power contained could easily crush ordinary Chaos Venerables. Lin Yuan, while cultivating the second layer of Infinite Void, suddenly paused as if realizing something. Fierce sun, heaven opening. Lin Yuan's thoughts stirred slightly, and a flame suddenly appeared before him. At this moment, his true essence in the source world focused most of his mental energy on comprehending the divine skill's imprint of fierce sun heaven opening. Even without full insight, Lin Yuan could partially replicate it. Of course, it couldn't be sustained. If I use this divine skills to empower my inner universe, Lin Yuan's eyes shone brightly. The divine skill's fierce sun heaven opening focuses not on destruction, but on heaven opening. What is heaven opening? The creation of heaven and earth. Why can it create heaven and earth? The realm covered by the fierce sun is the territory, the land. If an eternal fierce sun were to be condensed in the inner universe, illuminating the universe with its radiance, what impact would that have on the inner universe? Lin Yuan's inner universe had already cultivated the 13th tier legacy, Infinite Void, and if the fierce sun heaven opening's abilities, mastered only by 13th tier temporal beings, were to empower it, if these two 13th tier powers could merge together, Lin Yuan's heart surged with excitement as he immediately began to attempt. Due to not fully penetrating the divine skill's imprint of fierce sun heaven opening, the flames Lin Yuan condensed would not last long. They would soon extinguish. But Lin Yuan could still perceive the impact the radiance of fierce sun heaven opening would exert on the inner universe. Beside the jade gourd, the red-dressed girl also focused on the changes in the inner universe. The red-dressed girl seemed to realize something, showing surprise on her face. She clearly sensed the slowing transformation speed of Lin Yuan's inner universe. This meant that Lin Yuan slowed down his progress in cultivating Infinite Void. This made the red-dressed girl somewhat curious as Infinite Void was a 13th tier legacy, offering extraordinary enhancement to 12th tier beings. Why did Lin Yuan slow down his cultivation of Infinite Void at this time? Purple Dream Domain. S.E.A. the Nefire. Et website on Google to access chapters of novels early and in the highest quality. Marquis Purple Dream and numerous great venerables were likewise engaged in final war preparations. Everyone, once we breach the Qingfen domain and His Highness the Spirit Might King gains significant prestige, becoming a candidate for the throne, the benefits we gain need no further explanation. Marquis Purple Dream's words were brief, yet stirred the emotions of all the great venerables. As great venerables, they naturally understood why the Spirit Might King actively initiated this war. It was to become the emperor of the ancient country. Only by expanding the territory of the ancient country could he gain sufficient prestige and thus become a candidate for the throne. Being a candidate for the throne means the opportunity to compete for the position of the ancient country's emperor. If Spirit Might King could finally take that step and become the next emperor of the ancient country, with rewards for merit, how could those great venerables miss out? Now, follow me to the battlefield. Marquis Purple Dream, leading numerous great venerables, instantly arrived at the border battlefield via the space-time passage. His Highness the Spirit Might King is watching this war, so do not withhold your strength, reminded Marquis Purple Dream. Whether it was Qingfen Domain or Purple Dream Domain, the true trump cards or strongest forces would undoubtedly observe without entering the fray immediately. The Spirit Might King needed to make warfare decisions based on the situation. According to the planned strategy, proactively confront the designated opponents at that time. Marquis Purple Dream began to speak. Lord Qingfen had already determined many opponents for the great venerables, and naturally, The Purple Dream domain was no exception. My opponent is Galaxy Great Venerate? Newly advanced Great Venerate just over 1,000 years ago. Thunder Spear Great Honored, a thin and old man, ponders carefully at this moment. On the surface, Thunder Spear Great Honored stepped into the realm of Great Venerate more than 200,000 years ago, still considered a newly advanced Great Venerate. But in reality, Thunder Spear Great Honored entered the Great Venerable realm over 1,000,000 years ago. However, he concealed this fact. With my current strength, a newly advanced Great Venerate like Galaxy Great Venerate is an easy capture. At that time, he'll undoubtedly have a chance to shine before His Highness the Spirit Might King. Thunder Spear Great Honored knew that Spirit Might King was observing the battlefield. If he performed well, his standing in Spirit Might King's mind would be different. If you find any errors, ads pop up, ads redirect, broken links, non-standard content, etc., please let us know reports so we can fix it as soon as possible. Chapter 1104 Chaos Secret Patterns. Request subscription. Ding 7 Warfront Area. Lin Yuan soon arrived at the Warfront area he was to guard. The Warfront, formed by the intersection of Qingfen Domain and Purple Dream Domain, is very long, and each Great Lord needs to guard the corresponding Warfront area. Resisting enemy attacks. The Warfront area where Lin Yuan is stationed, located at the edge, is not the target for attack by Purple Dream Domain's veteran Great Lords and Peak Great Lords, who mostly choose to attack those core Warfront areas. This is why Lord Qingfen believes that the opponent Lin Yuan needs to face will be Thunder Spear Great Honored. Among the Great Lords currently revealed by Purple Dream Domain, there are only 2 or 3 new Great Lords, with Thunder Spear Great Honored most likely to attack the Ding 7 Warfront. Of course, it's just most likely, not necessarily Thunder Spear Great Honored. But even if it's another Great Lord, it would be a similarly tiered new Great Lord. As for Veteran or Peak Great Lords, for a Veteran Great Lord or Peak Great Lord to attack the edge defense line is a complete waste. Even if they break through, what then? The impact on the overall war is minimal. After all, it's just the edge defense line, and Qingfen Domain can completely adjust in real time. But the core defense line is different. Once the core defense line set up by Qingfen Domain is breached, the war situation will be overwhelmingly tilted. If Purple Dream Domain deploys a Veteran Great Lord or Peak Great Lord to attack the edge defense line, Lord Qingfen would be delighted. With one less Veteran Great Lord or Peak Great Lord attacking the core defense line, Qingfen Domain's pressure would reduce significantly. In this battle, Qingfen Domain will focus primarily on defense, and Red Pine King should lean towards being conservative. Search * the Novelier. T website on Google to access chapters of novels early and in the highest quality. Lin Yuan thought to himself that through Lord Qingfen's arrangements for the war situation, one could discern the thinking of Red Pine King behind the scenes. Lin Yuan quite agrees with this. Spirit Might King is currently too prominent, and confronting them head-on at this moment? There's no benefit. As long as the first few waves of attacks from Purple Dream Domain can be held off, the war situation will naturally reverse. And then whether to invade Purple Dream Domain will entirely depend on Red Pine King. Greetings, Great Lord. Greetings, Great Lord. Soon after Lin Yuan arrived at the Ding 7 defense line, several figures came to meet him. Lin Yuan was in charge of guarding this warfront area. Naturally, he was not the only one. Numerous battle machines were ready for Lin Yuan to deploy at any time. In wars between major domains, if not at the level of Great Lords, it's basically all centered around battle machines. Self-Dao Realm, Dominator-level powerhouses differ too much in strength compared to Great Lords. Only by utilizing battle machines can they barely threaten Great Lords. Thousands of Dominator-level powerhouses, using the power of battle machines to strike, with quantitative change causing qualitative change, can even make a Great Lord change color. Let's discuss the situation. Lin Yuan glanced at the several respectful figures standing there. These figures all possessed peak Dominator level strength and could be considered his subordinates stationed at this defense line. Great Lord, we currently have 1 B-rank medium battle machine, 6 B-rank lower battle machines, and 36 C-rank upper, middle, and lower battle machines. The leading figure, adorned with a single horn and named Luo Peng, respectfully reported to Lin Yuan. Battle machines are divided into 3 tiers, A, B, and C. C-rank battle machines can accommodate dozens up to hundreds of Dominator-level figures, and the combined power they unleash can slightly restrain a Great Lord. B-rank battle machines have distinctions of upper, middle, and lower, with capacity for thousands to tens of thousands of Dominator-level powerhouses. As for rank battle machines, they accommodate over 10,000 Dominator-level powerhouses, and the strike they unleash must be seriously regarded even by peak Great Lords. The Ding 7 Warfront is located on the edge, and its highest tier battle machine is only B medium. As for B upper and rank battle machines, they're basically in core defense line areas. Such battle machines are extremely precious, appearing only on the most important battlefields. Of course, preciousness is one aspect. Whether there are so many Dominator-level powerhouses is another aspect. This time the war with Purple Dream Domain superficially appears as Qingfen Domain versus Purple Dream Domain, but in actuality, it has gathered all the elites from several dozen surrounding major domains, making it a relatively high-intensity war. Battle machines, Lin Yuan nodded slightly. It said that above rank battle machines, there are even higher-tier machines accommodating Great Lord-level powerhouses. As for specific deployments, you can handle them as you see fit. If there's an attack from a Great Lord-level enemy, I will engage. Lin Yuan said plainly, without delving into details. As the overseer of this defense line, Lin Yuan just needs to grasp the overall situation. Understood. The horned man Luo Peng respectfully responded. By the way, take me to see the battle machines. Lin Yuan looked at the horned man Luo Peng, speaking calmly. See the battle machines? The horned man Luo Peng had no doubts and immediately said, Great Lord, please follow me. So, Lin Yuan arrived before a massive battle machine. This battle machine was a C-rank battle machine, able to accommodate 368 Dominator-level figures. The entire battle machine, rising several million kilometers high, once 368 figures enter, the machine fully operates, and its size can grow 100-fold to 1,000-fold. Is this the battle machine? Lin Yuan carefully observed, the surface of the battle machine covered with countless secret patterns. Precisely through these secret patterns that the power of hundreds of Dominator-level figures could be fully combined. Hundreds of Dominator-level figures each walking different paths, their powers converging without causing collisions or even explosions is fortunate, still combining? And if this only resulted in the fusion of hundreds of Dominator-level powers, it would far from threaten a Great Lord. If you find any errors, ads pop up, ads redirect, broken links, non-standard content, etc., please let us know reports so we can fix it as soon as possible. Chapter 1105 Chaos Secret Patterns, Seeking Subscription. _2 After all the powers are fused together and amplified by the war machine, the final explosive strike will increase by hundreds of times. This is the war machine. These secret patterns, Lin Yuan observed carefully. Your insight is unparalleled, observing unknown patterns, enhancing your understanding of the chaos rule. Numerous flashes of inspiration erupted in his mind, ultimately enhancing Lin Yuan's understanding of the chaos rule. These secret patterns, can they actually directly enhance the understanding of the chaos rule? Lin Yuan found it hard to believe. All along, Lin Yuan's method of enhancing his understanding of the chaos rule was by continually comprehending other rules and pathways. These pathways would drive the enhancement of his understanding of the chaos rule. But now, comprehending the secret patterns on the war machine can yield a similar effect? The essence of secret patterns is the fundamental vein of the chaos rule. In any world or realm, there is no definite chaos rule because at the moment of the world's creation, the chaos rule had already differentiated into innumerable pathways of rules. Want to directly comprehend the chaos rule? There's simply no such opportunity. While comprehending the secret patterns on the war machine, Lin Yuan thought to himself. And these war machines have actually condensed the fundamental vein of the chaos rule? Who on earth managed to do that? Lin Yuan marveled inwardly. Currently, his understanding of the chaos rule had also reached the second realm. But let alone condensing the second realm's vein of the chaos rule, even the first realm is impossible to achieve. Sometimes comprehending and expressing it are two different things. No wonder the war machine can perfectly fuse the powers of countless Dominator realm experts. No wonder, Lin Yuan's thoughts surged. When he first discovered the effects of the war machine, he found it utterly unbelievable. The higher one's realm, the broader one's vision, and the more unbelievable these methods of fusing numerous power rules become. But upon seeing the war machine himself, Lin Yuan immediately accepted it. Only the origin rule, like the chaos rule, which can derive countless pathways of rules, can achieve the convergence of vastly different power rules. Innumerable pathways of rules originate from chaos and will return to chaos. In my understanding of the chaos rule, I have only just entered the second realm. To use chaos as the foundation to evolve the chaos yin-yang taiji power, it requires at least the pinnacle of the second realm, or possibly the third realm. Lin Yuan thought to himself. The difficulty of evolving the chaos yin-yang taiji power exceeded Lin Yuan's expectations. He originally thought the second realm of the chaos rule was sufficient. Not to mention the third realm of chaos, even the pinnacle of the second realm of chaos. At my current pace of understanding, how long would it take? 1,000,000 years? 10 million years? Lin Yuan pondered. Enhancing the understanding of the chaos rule is not about enhancing a singular rule but rather the enhancement of the understanding of all rules. This requires an enormous expenditure of time and energy. Too long. Lin Yuan shook his head slightly. See Tijnell Fire. NT website on Google to access chapters of novels early and in the highest quality. If the Chaos Great Saints knew Lin Yuan's thoughts, they might be so ashamed they'd choose to reincarnate immediately. 1,000,000 or 10 million years to raise the chaos rule from the second realm to the pinnacle of the second realm. Many Chaos Great Saints have not achieved this in 1,000 or 10,000 cosmic eras. A large portion of Chaos Great Saints still remain at the initial stage of the second realm in understanding the chaos rule. But these war machines, Lin Yuan stared at the war machine in front of him with radiant expression. Through the secret patterns on the surface of the war machine, Lin Yuan could directly enhance his understanding of the chaos rule, a process that is tens of thousands of times simpler than conventional methods. And as his understanding of the chaos rule improved, it would naturally enhance his understanding of the other countless pathways of rules. Luckily I didn't leave, Lin Yuan felt quite pleased within. In fact, before the war began, Lord Qingfen had suggested Lin Yuan temporarily leave Qingfen domain. In Lord Qingfen's eyes, Lin Yuan was a core royal bloodline with immense potential, and as soon as he stepped into the Great Lord realm, he would be able to easily sweep across many great lords. Before that, it was naturally better to keep a low profile and not involve himself in the war between the two great domains. But after considering it, Lin Yuan still refused Lord Qingfen's suggestion. Firstly, because Lord Qingfen had been good to him, Lin Yuan was reluctant to leave at such a critical moment. Secondly, Lin Yuan knew his own capabilities well. With his strength, unless the ancestors of the major ancient countries intervened, it would be difficult for him to die. Whether to leave Qingfen domain or not, truthfully speaking, it didn't make much of a difference to Lin Yuan. Now it seems, Lin Yuan's decision was very correct. If he had left Qingfen domain, he certainly wouldn't have had the chance to come into contact with these war machines. Each war machine, even a grade C war machine, is a top secret of the major ancient countries. Unless a war is waged, they will never appear outside. Even if a war is waged, outsiders may not have the opportunity to even approach a war machine. Now Lin Yuan was the commander of this defense area, so he could observe the war machine up close under the pretense of inspection. Well, you may step back for now. Lin Yuan glanced indifferently at Luo Peng standing beside him and said, I need to stay here for a while. Yes. The unicorn man Luo Peng immediately stood and left. Swoosh! Lin Yuan's figure flickered and entered the interior of the war machine, where the chaos secret patterns were increasingly complex and profound. At the same time, they provided increasing help to Lin Yuan. Purple Dream Domain. One war machine after another operated, with many great lords heading to different frontline areas. Among them, the most powerful great lords headed to the core frontline areas, as the core battlefield had the greatest impact, and taking it would have a decisive effect on the war situation. High Sky. In the depths of multiple layers of spacetime, the Spirit Might King, clad in deep cyan armor, inadvertently emitted an aura that caused the surrounding spacetime to distort and collapse. The Red Pine King of the Fierce Sun Ancient Country has no ambition and won't recklessly block me. The Spirit Might King calmly observed the battlefield. He dared to choose Qingfen Domain for war, not just because he had arrangements in dozens of nearby domains, but also because he predicted it would likely be the Red Pine King responsible for resisting him. The Red Pine King was inherently carefree. This was evident from his willingness to leave the capital and live leisurely in his fiefdom. The capital of an ancient country is its core area. Any royalty with a bit of ambition would never willingly leave it. The Red Pine King will most likely ask his sixth brother to take action, the Spirit Might King thought, considering many possibilities. It's a pity. If not for that galaxy, the plan would be much simpler in capturing Qingfen City. The Spirit Might King sighed. Despite his meticulous planning, he never anticipated that Lord Qingfen had secretly nurtured a great Lord disciple. A great Lord disciple, willing to stay hidden in Qingfen City? If he wasn't certain his plan wouldn't be exposed, the Spirit Might King would even suspect a traitor on his side informing Lord Qingfen? It's just as well. Only through war, by righteously taking Qingfen Domain and the surrounding dozens of domains, will my prestige reach its peak. The Spirit Might King's gaze was icy. While war is only about winning or losing, crushing with sheer strength resonates well with those old relics in the capital. This also significantly benefits his candidacy for emperor. Of course, to become the emperor of an ancient country, being a candidate is just the start. But not becoming a candidate means having no qualification to compete for the throne. Ding 7 Defense Line. Lin Yuan sat cross-legged inside the war machine, his vast perception enveloping every chaos secret pattern present. Your insight is unparalleled, observing unknown patterns, enhancing your understanding of the chaos rule. Unaware of how much time passed, the bursts of inspiration in Lin Yuan's mind gradually decreased. I've almost understood them. Lin Yuan opened his eyes. The chaos secret patterns engraved on a single war machine are ultimately limited. Merely a grade C war machine, it couldn't have engraved too many chaos secret patterns, otherwise it wouldn't be grade C, but grade B or even grade A. Next one. Lin Yuan stepped out and headed towards the next war machine. If you find any errors, ads pop up, ads redirect, broken links, non-standard content, etc., please let us know reports so we can fix it as soon as possible. Chapter 1106. The Dazed Thunder Spear Great Honored. Please subscribe. Inside the Betgrade War Machines. Lin Yuan immersed himself in understanding the chaos secret patterns, almost elevating his chaos rule insights every moment. It's too perfect. Lin Yuan felt deeply moved. The chaos secret patterns inside the Betgrade war machines already involved profound aspects of the second realm. If this pace of comprehension can be maintained, at most 100 centuries, no, at most 1,000 years, and it'll reach the pinnacle of the second realm insights. Lin Yuan thought to himself. As for the third realm in chaos? Currently, the chaos secret patterns contained within the Betgrade war machines do not cover the essence of the third realm's rules. Even the chaos secrets inside the Alfgrade war machines likely do not touch upon the third realm. The third realm, that is the ultimate realm of chaos rule insights, which many great saints in the chaos void have yet to achieve. Take it slowly, aim for the pinnacle of the second realm first. Lin Yuan temporarily disregarded the third realm in chaos. Lin Yuan's heart suddenly stirred, ceasing his comprehension of the chaos secret patterns, and looking in a certain direction. Is the war about to start? Lin Yuan directly walked out of the war machine. At this moment, on the opposite defense line, enemy war machines continuously gathered, and even the aura of a great lord was lurking. It's indeed Thunder's Spear Great Honored. Lin Yuan immediately confirmed the great lord opposing them was Thunder's Spear Great Honored. Thunder's Spear Great Honored. He shouldn't be an ordinary newly ascended great lord. Lin Yuan vaguely sensed that Thunder's Spear Great Honored's aura was deeper than a typical new great lord. Concealing his strength? Lin Yuan thought to himself, not particularly concerned. Thunder's Spear Great Honored hid his strength. Could it be he hadn't done the same? In fact, the strength Lin Yuan concealed was far above that of Thunder's Spear Great Honored. Even without using fierce sun-opening sky, he possessed strengths close to the Great Lord peak battle power. Swish. As Lin Yuan gazed upon the battlefield, one by one, Heaven Realm experts entered the war machines, slowly activating the massive war machines. It's a shame, can't leave a single machine behind for comprehension. Looking at the war machines ready for battle, Lin Yuan felt slightly disappointed internally. In every segment of the defense area, the number of war machines was fixed. See Tichnell Fire. NT website on Google to access chapters of novels early and in the highest quality. Before the war broke out, Lin Yuan hiding inside one of the war machines posed no issues. But once the battle erupted, if Lin Yuan retained a war machine, it would be too audacious. The gaze of Red Pine King, though mainly concentrated on the core frontline battlefield, did not mean he ignored other line defenses entirely. However, a war continues for several thousand to 10,000 years, with less time spent directly clashing, mainly revolving around regrouping time. Lin Yuan contemplated. The regrouping time referred to when both sides, after fierce battles, plunged into a ceasefire period. During this period, Lin Yuan would have ample time to slowly comprehend each war machine. Let Galaxy Great Honored take action first. Thunder Spear Great Honored equally kept an eye on the battlefield, seeing war machines activating without the slightest belittling. Although intelligence showed Galaxy Great Honored was a newly ascended Great Lord, having broken through just over 1,000 years ago, marking him as fairly new among new Great Lords. But Thunder Spear Great Honored, having cultivated to this point, was certainly not overconfident. Even though very confident, he still planned to let Galaxy Great Honored act first before deciding whether to intervene. Seeing Galaxy Great Honored act first essentially meant gaining the upper hand. So, war machines from both sides fell into fierce combat against each other. Booming sounds. A chaos-infused fiery war machine suddenly transformed into a gigantic fireball, with endless flames madly spreading in all directions. That beta mid-grade war machine? Lin Yuan looked towards this war machine. It was also the highest grade war machine within this defense area, capable of creating a fierce sun domain when fully operated, suppressing all enemy forces within. Swish. Over at the Purple Dream domain, their war machines simultaneously activated, their unleashed power not inferior to Qingfen domain. Lock. A gigantic war machine entirely purple in color abruptly took a step forward, instantly causing purple chains to emerge within the void, covering towards Qingfen domain. Countless purple chains targeted the only beta mid-grade war machine on the Qingfen domain side. Not good. The single-horned man Luo Pring changed his expression. He was one of the peak Heaven Realm experts controlling the beta mid-grade war machine. The beta mid-grade war machine can host over 3,000 Heaven Realm experts, but only a few can truly control this war machine. Retreat. At that moment, the voice suddenly echoed in the single-horned man Luo Peng's ear. It's Great Lord. The single-horned man Luo Peng immediately recognized the voice as belonging to Galaxy Great Honored. As for its contents, it instructed him on how to repulse the countless purple chains emanating from the coverage. During this time, although Lin Yuan had not comprehended that beta mid-grade war machine, through war machines he had already understood, he had ample understanding of it. This understanding stemmed from the most fundamental comprehension, far surpassing the knowledge of temporary controllers like the single-horned man Luo Peng. Therefore, upon seeing the Purple Dream Domain's war machine releasing numerous purple chains, Lin Yuan instantly realized how to block them. Bang! The massive fireball and countless purple chains abruptly collided, causing flames to scatter everywhere, chains to shatter one by one, ultimately forcing the entirely purple war machine from Purple Dream Domain into a helpless retreat. In the short skirmish just now, it was slightly disadvantaged. Thank you, Great Lord. Inside the beta mid-grade war machine, the single-horned man Luo Peng immediately conveyed his gratitude towards Lin Yuan. If not for Lin Yuan, under the countless purple chains just now, even if he could manipulate the war machine to break free, he would likely have been restrained for a while. And with the loss of this war machine's fierce sun domain, the Qingfen domain would lose their greatest advantage in the battlefield's war machine collisions, and might even face the possibility of collapse. Ha! It was blocked. Thunder Spear Great Honored was also observing the battlefield, and when he saw the retreat of the purple war machine, his brows furrowed deeply. The attack of the purple war machine was at his command. Thunder Spear Great Honored thought he had grasped the key to controlling the situation, attacking the moment the Qingfen domain's war machine formed the fierce sun domain. In this way, the odds of victory on his side would increase to the maximum. It's become a stalemate. Thunder Spear Great Honored watched the war, observing the battles between war machines on both sides, and felt somewhat restless. He intended to make a grand display on the battlefield this time, to impress the Spirit Might King. But according to the current situation, if he didn't make a move soon, there would be no chance to break through the opponent's defense. Forget it. Thunder Spear Great Honored sighed inwardly, originally planning to wait for Galaxy Great Honored to make a move first before acting himself. Now it seems he has to act on his own. However, the impact is not significant. As long as intelligence is accurate, Galaxy Great Honored, being a newly ascended Great Honored, posed no certainty of a threat. Rumble. Thunder Spear Great Honored's figure disappeared, replaced by an endless expanse of thunder. The path of Thunder Spear Great Honored was Chaos Thunder, most adept at killing and destruction. Thunder Spear Great Honored? Lin Yuan appeared silently and blocked Thunder Spear Great Honored, saying, "Your opponent is me. I would like to see what capabilities the disciple handed over by Lord Qingfen possesses." Thunder Spear Great Honored was not interested in wasting words. Thunder Spear Great Honored's aura weakened slightly. This origin thunderclap was Thunder Spear Great Honored's strongest means of attack. If used against Galaxy Great Honored, it would at most suppress him momentarily, making it difficult to directly smash him. But if used against the intermediate level B war machine below, it would definitely be able to tear through it. Once this strongest war machine was taken care of, the battlefield below would definitely see the Purple Dream Domain gain an absolute advantage. By then, he only needed to hold off Galaxy Great Honored to control the war situation. Buzzing. The terrifying Origin Thunderclap arrived in an instant, appearing above the intermediate level B war machine as soon as it manifested. The intermediate level B war machine, though capable of threatening a Great Honored, facing the Great Honored's strongest attack means, would find it very challenging to withstand, especially with the precise timing of Thunder Spear Great Honored's Origin Thunderclap. The intermediate level B war machine had no chance to evade. Ha! Casually engaging with Thunder Spear Great Honored, Lin Yuan's expression changed suddenly, looking towards the intermediate level B war machine about to be covered by the terrifying thunder. My Chaos Secret Patterns. Lin Yuan reached out directly, and in an instant, this hand became enormous beyond measure, tearing through layers of spacetime. Thunder Spear Great Honored's Origin Thunderclap, nurtured for millions of years and regarded as the strongest attack means, was as fragile as paper before Lin Yuan's right hand, easily torn apart. The intermediate level B war machine, already swollen to the height of billions of miles, was like a kitten sheltered within Lin Yuan's outstretched right palm. This Thunder Spear Great Honored, who witnessed this scene, fell into silence immediately. If you find any errors, ads pop up, ads redirect, broken links, non-standard content, etc. Please let us know reports so we can fix it as soon as possible. Chapter 1107. Forget it, I won't pretend anymore. Please subscribe, Sir the Novel Fire. Net * website on Google to access chapters of novels early and in the highest quality. In the high sky of the battlefield. Thunder Spear Great Honored watched as the origin thunderclap he released with accumulated power was easily pierced and torn apart by Lin Yuan's outstretched sky-covering hand. His gaze briefly fell into a stupor. To be honest, Thunder Spear Great Honored was quite confident in his origin thunderclap, a killing move he had nurtured for 1,000,000 years. He wouldn't have used it this time if not to leave a good impression on Spirit Might King and break through defenses as quickly as possible. As for why not use the origin thunderclap against Lin Yuan? Lin Yuan is also a great lord and has hidden his strength. Compared to Lin Yuan, that B-class war machine is clearly much easier to deal with. B-class war machine, accommodating thousands of dominant realm powerhouses, can indeed pose a threat to great lord-level powerhouses with a single strike. But a war machine is ultimately just a war machine, far less flexible than a great lord. In the eyes of a great lord, a war machine appears rigid without external influence. Put a great lord against a war machine of the same tier. The final victor is bound to be the great lord. The greatest use of a war machine is on the battlefield, teaming with other war machines and great lord-level powerhouses on the same side. Thunder Spear Great Honor chose to strike the B-class war machine after careful consideration. This was the safest approach. What Thunder Spear Great Honored never anticipated was that his full-powered origin thunderclap was like thin paper before Lin Yuan, directly torn apart and penetrated. How is this possible? The first thought in Thunder Spear Great Honored's mind was disbelief. To tear his origin thunderclap so easily, even if not a peak Great Lord, would not be far off. Galaxy Great Lord? Isn't Galaxy Great Lord a newly promoted Great Lord from 1,000 years ago? But immediately, Thunder Spear Great Honored realized the intelligence he obtained must have had issues. It's only from Lord Kingfen's word that Galaxy Great Lord was newly promoted, without any evidence to prove Galaxy Great Lord had only broken through 1,000 years ago. Not good. Thunder Spear Great Honored is shameless. Inside the B-class war machine, unicorned man Luo Peng sensed the overwhelming terrifying thunderclaps enveloping them. Though not yet close, the unicorned man Luo Peng instinctive fear permeated the thunderclaps through time and space. If not for the war machine's protection, he probably wouldn't be able to even resist the aura emitted by the thunderclaps. Hard to withstand. If I could completely refine the second layer of infinite void and possess near Great Lord invincible strength, I would have confidence in capturing Thunder Spear Great Honored. Lin Yuan thought to himself. As an enemy Great Lord, if Lin Yuan killed him, he would certainly receive significant credit. Even though Thunder Spear Great Honored had life-preserving methods and couldn't completely fall, allowing him to revive. Sia the Novel Fire. NE*T website on Google to access chapters of novels early and in the highest quality. But it would take time to fully recover his strength. In the upcoming war, he might not be able to make a move. All these would be counted as credit. During wartime, killing the true body of an enemy Great Lord isn't an easy task because they would hardly ever be alone. Thus, the rewards for a successful kill would be substantial. Clatter. After confirming Thunder Spear Great Honored dared not return, Lin Yuan flipped his hand, and that Grade B war machine appeared, landing not far away. To ensure that this war machine was not damaged, Lin Yuan only took it out at this moment. Great Lord. Thank you, Great Lord, for your intervention. From within the Grade B war machine, the single-horned man Luo Peng and the other peak lord-level dominators flew out together, expressing their immense gratitude to Lin Yuan. At this moment, they also realized that if it weren't for Lin Yuan, they would have likely perished under Thunder's Spear Great Honored's last attack. No need. Lin Yuan shook his head. The enemy has been defeated. You all should clean up the battlefield now. All the war machines of the Purple Dream domain had self-destructed, and many Lord-level experts inside had been captured as Lin Yuan's war prisoners. For these war prisoners, various ancient countries had a relatively tacit way of handling them, which was to exchange them back through redeeming after the war ended. So Lin Yuan did not mistreat these war prisoners but casually confined them in some corner of his internal universe. Yes. The Great Lord's intervention directly frightened Thunder's Spear Great Honored into a hasty escape. At this moment, the single-horned man Luo Peng and the other peak lords couldn't help but praise. Even though they had all been inside the war machine, collected by Lin Yuan, their communication among their avatars allowed them to understand roughly what had happened. Defeating Thunder's Spear Great Honored is nothing. Whether the war is won or lost mainly depends on the battles at the core defense lines. Lin Yuan slightly shook his head, having a clear understanding of himself. Compared to this war involving dozens of major domains, he couldn't influence much. That still is a victory on the local defense line. The single-horned man Luo Peng immediately said, "You all may leave." With that, Lin Yuan's form disappeared. After Lin Yuan left, Red Pine King was also a great Lord-level powerhouse, but the pressure he exerted on Lin Yuan was far superior to Lord Qingfen or even Great Venerate Hongya. Galaxy, have a seat. Red Pine King smiled at Lin Yuan, showing no royal pretense. Lin Yuan immediately took a seat. I'm very pleased with your performance on the battlefield. Red Pine King smiled and said, Tell me, what reward do you want? Lord Qingfen stood beside without any action. A reward. Lin Yuan recalled Lord Qingfen's reminder, knowing this was an opportunity to be bold. Even if unsuccessful, it would not matter. What should I ask for? Lin Yuan's mind was filled with thoughts. Resources? There are numerous ways to acquire resources, no need to waste this chance here. Prince, Lin Yuan quickly made a decision. I wish to comprehend the Class A battle machinery. So far, the battle machinery Lin Yuan could access was only Class B intermediate, and this level of battle machinery was already the limit. As for the higher class, it only existed in the core defense battlefield. Even if Lin Yuan went to the core defense battlefield, the commanders there were peak great lords, expecting to freely comprehend battle machinery like in the Ding 7 defense line? Very difficult to achieve. Even if Lord Qingfen secretly helped, it couldn't be unknown to Red Pine King. Comprehend Class A battle machinery? Lord Qingfen's expression slightly changed upon hearing this. He didn't expect Lin Yuan would dare to make such a request. Class A battle machinery can host thousands to tens of thousands of peak dominator-level powerhouses, a single strike threatening peak Great Lord existence. This level of battle machinery could influence local war outcomes. Even Lord Qingfen couldn't approach any Class A battle machinery at will. Lin Yuan's request seemed unlikely to Lord Qingfen. Even if Red Pine King was in high spirits, Class A battle machinery involved ancient country's foundation, which was clearly understood by Red Pine King. If it were for some treasure or relic, Lord Qingfen believed Red Pine King might agree, but Class A battle machinery? If Red Pine King dared agree, he too would bear some risk. If the chaos secret patterns within the Class A battle machinery Lin Yuan comprehends get leaked, Red Pine King would be the primary responsible party. Class A battle machinery? Red Pine King raised an eyebrow and shook his head saying, You sure know how to ask. Lin Yuan realized from Red Pine King's words the significant importance of Class A battle machinery, even beyond his estimation. But I can't resist being so pleased with you. Red Pine King smiled at Lin Yuan. Since you wish to comprehend Class A battle machinery, you can comprehend all those used in this war. If you find any errors, ads pop up, ads redirect, broken links, non-standard content, etc. Please let us know reports so we can fix it as soon as possible. Chapter 11:10 Comprehension, Request for Subscription. Red Pine King eventually agreed, which slightly surprised Lin Yuan. The phrase "you're quite demanding" implied that this request was indeed a bit difficult to fulfill. Lin Yuan had prepared to be refused and then to make another request. Apart from comprehending the Alpha-class war machine, there were too many treasures and wonders that Lin Yuan wanted. "Thank you, Your Highness," Lin Yuan said immediately, without any modesty. The opportunity to comprehend an Alpha-class war machine is rare and invaluable. If it were not during wartime, Lin Yuan wouldn't even have the chance to see a war machine, let alone comprehend it. "Do you want to comprehend the chaos secret patterns engraved on the war machine?" Red Pine King asked with interest. "Yes." Lin Yuan nodded. There was no need to hide this fact. Nor was it necessary to hide it. The most precious aspect of the war machines lies in the chaos secret patterns engraved on them. It is precisely due to these chaos secret patterns that the power rules of thousands of Dominator realm can be perfectly integrated and then significantly amplified. Without the chaos secret patterns, the value of war machines would be equivalent to some precious materials. The chaos secret patterns are bestowed by the ancestral founder, then replicated onto war machines by the most powerful heavenly venerates of our ancient country. Red Pine King spoke with a sense of nostalgia. "It's a good thing that you can comprehend the chaos secret patterns. I'm just taking a casual look," Lin Yuan said. At the same time, he also learned about the true origin of the chaos secret patterns. Ancestral founder. The ancestral founder of the fierce sun ancient country. Being able to easily condense secret patterns that contain the essence of the chaos rule indicates that their attainment in the field of chaos rules has likely surpassed the limitations of the third realm. Only the 13th stage ancestral founder, high above, overlooking the ancient country and even the source world, can easily condense them. However, you can only comprehend the war machine during this war. If the war ends, whether it's a victory or defeat, all war machines will be sent back to the capital. Red Pine King reminded. Allowing Lin Yuan to comprehend the war machine was somewhat against the rules, but Red Pine King turned a blind eye to it. But if the war ended and the war machines needed to be called back, Red Pine King certainly wouldn't dare to forcibly withhold them for Lin Yuan's comprehension. Naturally. Lin Yuan nodded. Following that, Red Pine King chatted casually with Lin Yuan, mainly discussing Lin Yuan's subsequent arrangements. Sar the Nelfer. Net website on Google to access chapters of novels early and in the highest quality. Chapter 11:11 Comprehension, Request for Subscription. _2 However, the enemies here refer to those at least at the level of a heavenly venerate. The war machines fall into the enemy's hands, and then the enemy presents them to the heavenly venerates. The heavenly venerates study and replicate them, and this is the complete process of the chaos secrets leaking out. And Lin Yuan? Having just entered the level of a great lord, his achievements in chaos evolution are not high, so he wants to study more of the chaos secret patterns. However, he is still far from comprehending the complete chaos secret patterns on any war machine. Moreover, when Lin Yuan studies the war machines, it is under the watchful eyes of the Red Pine King, making it even less likely for any leak to occur. The most crucial point is that Lin Yuan has awakened his fierce sun divine body, equivalent to someone on the side of the fierce sun ancient country, with no reason to betray the ancient country. Father's insight. The young man was sincerely convinced. On the surface, it seemed that the Red Pine King agreed to let the Galaxy Great Venerates study the Alpha-level war machines as a reward for defeating the Thunder Spear Great Honored. In reality, it was a multi-layered scheme, virtually eliminating any risk. With Father's strategy, King Spirit Might will surely be defeated in this war. The young man immediately said, "It's still too early to talk about victory or defeat." The Red Pine King shook his head, with a tone of worry. I always have a vague feeling that King's spirit might has many hidden safeguards. Leaving the small city cave abode where the Red Pine King resided, Lord Qingfen looked at Lin Yuan, his tone slightly solemn. Disciple, Prince Red Pine promised so readily, probably because he saw something unusual about you. Lord Qingfen understood the importance of war machines, especially the ALF-level ones. If there weren't significant benefits, how could the Red Pine King allow Lin Yuan to study them? This refers to benefits, not merely the absence of risk. But he only saw something unusual about you. He would never think that your bloodline concentration would reach the core royal family level. Lord Qingfen said. Lord Qingfen deduced that Lin Yuan had the core royal bloodline, based on Lin Yuan's terrifying speed of growth without stepping into the Great Lord realm. Lord Qingfen was unaware of this, at most noticing some clues from Lin Yuan's activation of the fierce Sun Divine Body, but not directly linking it to the core royal bloodline. Otherwise, the previous conversation wouldn't have happened as it did. Lin Yuan listened on the side. There shouldn't be any problems. Lord Qingfen thought repeatedly. At most, Prince Red Pine just thinks your royal bloodline is a bit more potent. With Prince Red Pine's character, he probably won't even mention it. Among the crowned kings of the fierce Sun ancient country, Prince Red Pine is the least ambitious, and he is also disinclined to participate in the internal strife and conflicts among the members of the ancient royal family. Parting ways with Lord Qingfen, Lin Yuan was directly transferred from the original Ding 7 defense line battlefield. He went instead to a battlefield line relatively closer to the core defense line. Of course, Lin Yuan left an avatar at the original Ding 7 defense line battlefield to study the war machines there. Since the Red Pine King agreed to let Lin Yuan study even ALF-level war machines, the other Bet-level and Gam-level war machines were naturally at Lin Yuan's discretion. Is this the core defense line battlefield? One of Lin Yuan's avatars arrived at the core defense line battlefield. The area was covered in layers of killing arrays, with war machines densely arranged, the breath of peak great lords rising and falling. Lin Yuan's avatar quickly came before an ALF-level war machine. Due to the current phase of confrontation, both sides had not yet engaged in battle, and many war machines remained stationary. Galaxy Great Venerate. The controller of the ALF-level war machine saw Lin Yuan approaching and slightly bowed, saying, Prince Red Pine has already given the order. The Galaxy Great Venerate can study this war machine at any time. Even though the controller of the ALF-level war machine only possessed the strength of a peak ruler, they directly obeyed the Red Pine King, with even peak great lords unable to command them. Without the Red Pine King's orders, no one could approach the war machines without cause. Lin Yuan nodded and directly flew into the ALF-level war machine. These chaos secret patterns, Lin Yuan was astonished upon entering. Compared to the chaos secret patterns within the highest level Bet-class war machines he had encountered, the chaos secret patterns contained within the ALF-level war machines were not only more vast, but also more complete. Chaos is the source of everything, and also the beginning of everything. Lin Yuan immersed himself in observing the chaos secret patterns spread across the war machine. The chaos rule does not exist within any complete world, which is why the chaos rule cannot be directly comprehended. Chaos gives rise to all things. Only by comprehending all things can one indirectly enhance their understanding of the chaos rule. But these chaos secret patterns before him had been forcefully reverted to their origin by some great existence, who forcibly condensed the fundamental patterns of chaos from all things. Your perception defies the heavens, observing unknown secret patterns, enhancing your understanding of the chaos rule. Lin Yuan feels the chaos secret patterns contained within the Grade A war machines, and his own understanding of the chaos rule is continuously improving. The red cloth-covered girl opens her eyes, though she tells Lin Yuan not to call her that. The joy on her face overflows. All right. What would you like from me? The red cloth-covered girl asks. I want to ask, in my cultivation of infinite void second tier recently, is there anything wrong? Though Lin Yuan's perception defies the heavens, Infinite Void is a 13-tier inheritance, enormously intricate and profound, so Lin Yuan fears he might stray off the right path and periodically asks the red cloth-covered girl, "Is there anything wrong?" The red cloth-covered girl rolls her eyes. Since Lin Yuan began training the second tier, she has been observing, hoping to find problems in Lin Yuan's cultivation, in order to prove her usefulness. But the result, she, the dignified spirit of Jade Gourd, a great being specifically created for guiding future cultivators of the Infinite Void inheritance, ended up unable to offer a single suggestion. If you find any errors, ads pop up, ads redirect, broken links, non-standard content, etc., please let us know reports so we can fix it as soon as possible. You're tuning into the Wang Lin's Journey YouTube channel. Don't forget to subscribe and join us on this journey to catch the most captivating stories.